एक और साल वही रिजल्ट, एक और साल 4 बार बोलूंगा मैं, क्योंकि हाँ 4 साल we have been facing it, what, 4 losses in what 6 years. FA Cup ही नहीं, इंग्लैंड में we lost what, Carabao Cup, सबको याद है. Again, I don't know, lot of I know अभी easy है हमें बोलना, we will do a review, we will talk about what went wrong for Chelsea, what went right for Liverpool. क्या something was right or wrong? Because yes, it came down again, yet again, to penalty shootouts. Or it was a lottery. Let's be honest. Some लोग, first and foremost, do not overreact. Anyone watching who will watch this stream even later on, do not react, because frankly, मैं अपना one line में आंसर बोल देता हूँ. Liverpool and Chelsea have not been separated at all इस season में, और it has been 2 penalty kicks. आप उस पर जज नहीं कर सकते, और उसमें से एक गोलकीपर ने लिया है, तो it's been 3-all. But in that pressure moment, Liverpool kept the nerves. We have to give them certainly, kudos. Double हो गया उनका already, or treble is on, man. And again, I know that Chelsea fan in the house here, Sparsh, but firstly, I would like to welcome Uday, because he is facing an exciting moment. To Uday,
Yeah.
getting that, I know it's a double, like unthinkable. Matlab, did you really think that when the season started, you would actually get 2 trophies before mid-May?
We had our hopes high, yeah, because the squad looked very, I mean, good as always. But yeah, because of the transfers not coming in, expecting a player like Luis Diaz to feature in the Jan transfer window was massive. He is a game changer for Liverpool. आज के game maybe he stood out. He was totally
Mm-hmm.
like he played exceptional football. And yeah, but hard luck to Chelsea. I think it came down to the penalties, and again, Alisson made 2 tremendous saves. So big up to Alisson and big up to Tsimikas for taking that last penalty in that pressure moment. Amazing game है, मजा आ गया. और chances बहुत है यार, बात करेंगे जब हम रिव्यू देंगे हम मैच का, तो we'll talk about the chances as well.
एग्जैक्टली, क्योंकि यार ऐसा मतलब आप बोल सकते हो कि यार मे बी फ्रॉम चेल्सीज पर्सपेक्टिव, स्पर्श, इट वाज काइंड ऑफ क्लियर कि स्पेशली आफ्टर मिसिंग दोज अर्ली चांसेस, मतलब टुकल वाज गोइंग, मतलब ईदर फॉर दैट एक गोल आ जाए इन द काउंटर बाय हुक और बाय क्रोक, और जो हम वी आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रेक अप प्ले. But I don't know, like let's actually start with the starting 11 itself. मतलब स्पर्श, again, मतलब I have to firstly say congratulations to them. मैंने बोला नहीं, I think, but congratulations to them, Liverpool fans. But Sparsh, coming to you again, commiserations, obviously to me as well. Like, what do you think, like, in terms of tactics, first half में, would you say कि first half में जो chances किया, first 15 minutes Liverpool dominate किए, लेकिन फिर we came back into the game, हमने chances बनाए. So was it enough to kind of stick on with that particular lineup in the beginning of the second half? Here you were expecting a different tactic from Tuchel, and let's actually break it up without overreacting.
फर्स्टली भैया मैं तो ये कहूँगा लाइक फर्स्टली जब मैंने लाइनअप देखा था तो आई वाज लाइक अ बिट गटेड फॉर टीमो वर्नर एक्चुअली. उसने जो कमेंट्स किए थे मैच से पहले कि इट वाज अ गेम फॉर हिम, मेड फॉर हिम बेसिकली, और वो बोल रहा था कि लो ब्लॉक डिफेंसेस के अगेंस्ट उतना ज़्यादा उसका प्ले स्टाइल सूटेड नहीं है, बट लिवरपूल इज़ अ टीम जिनके अगेंस्ट ही विल थ्राइव बेसिकली. तो आई वाज गटेड फॉर हिम कि उसको स्टार्ट करना चाहिए था, और ही इज़ बीन गुड लास्ट फ्यू मैचेस में भी, ही इज़ बीन गुड. सेकेंडली फिर जो पहले 15 मिनट्स में बॉल वॉचिंग हुई है, बॉल रिटेंशन बिल्कुल भी नहीं था. मतलब राइट साइड पे बार बार क्या हो रहा है, राइट साइड पे बॉल डाल रहे हैं, एक लॉन्ग बॉल डाल रहा है, या तो चालबा डाल देगा या मेंडी डालेगा या रीस जेम्स ट्राई करेगा मेसन माउंट को आगे, और वो बॉल लूज हो जाएगी. बॉल रिटेंशन जीरो, बॉल वॉचिंग इतनी ज़्यादा, लाइक बार बार लिवरपूल इतने ईजिली मिडफील्ड के थ्रू, डिफेंस के थ्रू पास बना रहे हैं शुरू में, तो इट वॉज लाइक बहुत ज़्यादा डिसअपॉइंटिंग. लेकिन फिर जो कमबैक हुआ वो शो करता है कि हमारा लाइक कैरेक्टर है टीम में, मेंटालिटी वाली टीम है. लाइक वी केम बैक, वी केम थ्रू दैट, जो इतना बढ़िया फेज था लिवरपूल का, तो उस फेज के थ्रू निकलना इज़ अ ग्रेट आई थिंक ग्रेट डूएबल जॉब. तो उसके बाद भी लाइक आई थिंक कि सेम लाइनअप के साथ आई वुड हैव गॉन, सेम टैक्टिक के साथ आई वुड हैव गॉन इन द सेकंड हाफ एज वेल, क्योंकि वो वर्क करने लग गया था धीरे धीरे. बट वही चीज़ कि रोमेलू लुकाकू और क्रिस्टियन पुलिसिक बेसिकली वर मिसिंग चांसेस, एंड दैट वाज द अनफॉर्चुनेट ट्रूथ अबाउट टुडेज मैच. बाकी तो आई डोंट वांट टू स्पीक एनी मोर अभी.
नहीं, मतलब आई अंडरस्टैंड. मतलब अगेन इट्स अबाउट बेसिकली जस्ट प्लानिंग फॉर नेक्स्ट सीजन. लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट, हमारा सीजन हो गया है. आप कितना भी बोलो टॉप 4 एंड ऑल दैट, और मैं बहुत ही सरप्राइज होऊंगा कि वी काइंड ऑफ लूज आवर नेक्स्ट मैचेस में. मतलब इफ यू डोंट लूज, मतलब आई विल बी रियली सरप्राइज्ड. एंड अगेन कैरेक्टर टॉक अबाउट, डेफिनेटली I respect Liverpool fans saying this. congratulations to Liverpool fans as well. I know Syed hai. Trust me, I have not been itna gutted in the last few years. I'm really gutted right now. और मुझे पता है मैं कैसे कर रहा हूँ stream. Trust me on that, people. And again, sorry on the low energy, but it is what it is. This is the real. और स्पर्श का भी आपको दिखा है because we have been basically facing this. Especially जो imagine like मैं तो फिर भी काफी सक्सेस देखा हूँ चेल्सी का. Maybe Spurs and maybe no much younger fans जो है recent years में इतने सारे cup losses. There is a story to it. I know Hemant kind of putting a very strong comment यहाँ पर. It is not the right time, Hemant. मैं सच में बोलूँ तो sports cup का again big up यार, लेकिन I don't see this is the right time to put this comment. But यहाँ पर सच्चाई है जो हेमंत बोल रहे. There is basically a mentality issue. वो एक coincidence नहीं हो सकती. I know आप penalties पे judge कर रहे हो. Maybe I'm overreacting in a sense. लेकिन at the same time मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि it is not just एक या दो बार. We have lost 5 finals out of the last 7 English finals that we have played. Think about it. In fact 6. ठीक है, तो there is a problem. There is a problem. आप देखो बीट कैराबाओ कप्स दोनों जो recent losses हुए थे against Man City and Liverpool. I know बहुत strong teams है. On their day any team can win. लेकिन उसमें भी मुझे याद है like we had so many chances और एक counter थे, kind of similar tactic. और in the end Kepa did what he did. कैराबाओ कप में देख लो हमारे पास थे chances, we didn't finish. आज भी थे, not that Liverpool did not have. और we'll come to Liverpool chances as well. But again people जो भी देख रहे हैं आप बोलिए यार आपके हिसाब से who are the standout players? Who are the players जो आप rely करोगे? As a Chelsea fan, as a neutral fan, do you think there are players in that 11 जो काफी प्रशंसा deserve करते हैं? I still think there are a lot of players. हम बात करेंगे player by player. कशिश ये पेन काहे खत्म नहीं होता है भाई? मतलब यार come on कशिश. I can only remind you, think of positive. Like as a Chelsea fan, try and think positive. Try and think about a Champions League win that we got. That was historical. Again, for someone who's watched Chelsea for 22 years, मैं बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पर, it was not easy winning the Champions League and nothing against Liverpool here. I'm just trying to, as in put positive vibes to Chelsea players, Chelsea fans, if at all. Or there are players there who actually played proper for the match today. अच्छा game था, nice. Don't be harsh on Mount. He'll get better and better. Yeah, absolutely. We should not get harsh on particular players, but should we be harsh on the management, just the tactics? I don't know. It was nerves, energy everywhere. I will ask the opposition first. Uday, were you surprised as a Liverpool fan कि firstly Werner not coming onto the pitch at all in the second half, and Lukaku, he wasn't like injured. He was probably tired. नहीं खेले थे इतने minutes, but coming off and then Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming on, Ziyech coming on. मतलब did you expect that? Because at one point Klopp भी, I saw that expression in the face. What really, Ross Barkley? मतलब I don't know. Just as an opposition fan, again try and put it in a fair manner. I'm hoping you will.
Yeah, for sure.
Please.
The thing with Chelsea's substitutions was, again, I expected Loftus-Cheek तो आ ही जाएगा, कांते भी आ गया था, तो midfield he wanted to tweak things up a bit for Liverpool क्योंकि RLC gives you that little pace and he's a good driver with the ball, so he expected them to start Liverpool's defensive line out. But Timo Werner, I thought he'll actually start the game. Pulisic को लाया, ठीक है, उसने first half में काफी अच्छा in terms of his positioning was very good. He had couple of chances, massive chances by Pulisic. One chance in the second half, 2 in the first half. So I think Pulisic should have actually put them on target at least. तो सारे off target थे.
Plus Alonso one probably, मतलब I know Pulisic आप बोलोगे एक जो हुआ था, almost Alisson was beaten. It's just that it went wide. और Pulisic was like, oh my god, did I have an extra second? और एक और जो था, Pulisic put a ball to Alonso, and Alonso, I think he was on his heels for once. हाँ, बोल सकते Pulisic should have passed that, passed better or earlier. लेकिन again, Alonso had that extra second, or he was on his heels. और
Alonso's touch was bad. Alonso's touch on that ball was very bad. Pulisic का was perfect था, but Alonso should have, he got capitulated in that opportunity. But again, I think Alisson showed up big time against whatever chances you had on target. But nonetheless, I think Pulisic की game ठीक थी यार, इतनी बुरी game नहीं थी. In terms of per 90 देखें तो impact इतना ज़्यादा नहीं था. Werner would have had a better impact, I felt, because his pace is more electrifying than Pulisic's. And Werner is also someone.
Quick shout out, yeah. Sorry to cut you there. लेकिन quick shout out. I just got a message from Leicester Till I Die TV. मुझे याद है 1 साल का Leicester Till I Die TV. Chris is a great friend, great mate. For people out there, do check him out because हमने पूरे साल 1 साल banter सहा है Leicester का. और मैंने लिया on the chin because we were Champions League winners, we were World Cup Club World Cup champions. मैंने लिया है इस सीजन, what will it be? It will be even worse, and I know a lot of Liverpool fans personally, so I can foresee that. Let's see again. Nothing bad against Liverpool and Liverpool fans in general, but it's not a good time. But again, big up to Chris because उन्होंने actually message किया because he knows what we are facing as Chelsea fans now. क्योंकि हमने तो यार
Yeah.
काफी बोला था we are champions of the world, and now suddenly लग रहा है यार धरती जमीन पर आ गया है. I don't know, kind of those kind of situation. We have to get the ground reality. And उदय, यहाँ पर question आपके लिए. Injuries to Virgil van Dijk and Salah. मतलब, do you think those are precautionary? I know it's easy for us to say. We can only guess right now. लेकिन just as a Liverpool fan watching them very closely, what is the body language telling you?
There was a hip flexor issue with Salah, so I think that was just a precautionary this thing. And Virgil was sitting on the bench, so I don't think उसको ज़्यादा कोई injury हुई है. उसका knock वगैरह हो गया होगा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा. So I think it is more of again a precautionary sub that they made. Plus, I think after making them play the extra time is not justified. I think obviously we have another couple of Premier League fixtures that we need to win, and we hope that City lose or draw at least one or two of them. So that is the hope. Plus, I think that is what Klopp is fixated on. We have a UCL final to play as well, so we have major competition games left for Van Dijk and Salah to feature in. So I think those are the right substitutions. And but big up to the way both teams played, man. They both teams showed up big time. Liverpool was better chances in second half. Mein Luis Diaz had so many opportunities to bury it past Mendy, but again those balls also went wide. 3 chances लिए थे उसने second half में. Chelsea were again giving good competition in the second half too. First 25-30 minutes के बाद जो Liverpool ने dominate किया है, the only difference was कि हाँ Reece James was pulled back and he was supporting the defense and covering Luis Diaz up, and they were doing a decent job. I wouldn't say a good job, a decent job. Trent was symbolic defensively. Alonso was totally making him look like a very weak defender in the first half. Second half में Trent ने 3-4 major interceptions दिखाए. Otherwise those chances could have also been taken, and you could have leveraged the most out of those chances. But Trent showed up defensively in the second half, which is where I think that 8.2 match rating आ रही है, because I didn't really see him delivering those crosses. आज क्रॉसिंग गेम भी लिवरपूल की
I think ट्रेंट को मतलब ये टैक्टिकली मतलब अगेन मतलब लॉट ऑफ कमेंट्स आ रहे हैं यहाँ पर. ट्रेंट को चेल्सी ने काफी स्पेस दिया थ्रू आउट द गेम, व्हिच वाज काइंड ऑफ वेरी वेरी सरप्राइजिंग, क्योंकि यार उसका गेम ही वो है कि ही गेट्स स्पेस ऑन द बॉल, ही काइंड ऑफ क्रॉसेस. और काफी बार आई नो थियागो सिल्वा सेव्ड अस अगेन. बिग अप यार, मैं बोलूंगा थियागो सिल्वा हैज बीन वन ऑफ द एज अ लिंचपिन्स ऑफ चेल्सी फॉर द एंटायर सीजन. मतलब बंदा इसी एज में ही गेट्स इंजर्ड अर्ली ऑन. आई थिंक इट वाज चालोबा's क्लियरेंस, वो खुद की गलती थी चालोबा की, वेरी काइंड ऑफ कवर्ड अगेन and almost cleared up the goal line, and follow through में Thiago Silva got injured, and yeah, big up to him. लेकिन I think too many headers जो मिल रहे थे Thiago Silva. If not for Thiago Silva, हो सकता था Liverpool could have scored before itself. Chelsea played well, especially Rudiger and Reece James. I'll put it to Spurs. मतलब again, obviously as a defense we were working. हाँ, Liverpool के पास काफी chances थे, which Uday has already spoken about, and we also created a lot of chances. We had like मैं गिना था 3 proper chances थे first half में, और Liverpool के भी 3 थे. So I think it was kind of even on that kind of chances alone. हाँ, overall gameplay Liverpool kind of dominated first 15-16 minutes, लेकिन उसके बाद Chelsea came, and again last 10 minutes it was like Chelsea सोचे यार 0-0 ले जाते हैं half time, और वही second half में kind of repeat हुआ वापस से, kind of right. Yeah, second half में we actually started well, to be honest, and then Liverpool came back strong. Maybe after substitutions आप बोलोगे. And then to end again, we were like playing football, like Mikhail has said already. By the way, Mikhail, big up. I don't know if you would like to join. Certainly welcome. Chelsea Ultra certainly would like to hear what you would say, because I know that we have been talking tactics throughout the season. Spurs, so क्या लगता है यार for Chelsea, who actually deserve those shoutouts? Rudiger had a moment, I think, with Keita, kind of hitting, और ये बंदा नहीं, मैं नहीं जाने दूंगा, as a wall he stood, and that is the mentality of players. Unfortunately, is leaving us. But where does it leave Chelsea, Chelsea's defense, Chelsea's team in general?
I think भैया जब लिवरपूल के अगेंस्ट आप खेलते हो और 120 मिनट्स तक जिस तरीके से लिवरपूल ने स्टार्ट किया था, उसके बाद आप 120 मिनट्स तक गोललेस रखते हो लिवरपूल को, तो एब्सोल्युटली आपको अपने डिफेंस को प्रेज करना ही पड़ेगा. वहाँ पे नो डाउट आप लाइक किसी और प्लेयर को प्रेज करने से पहले आप चेल्सी के डिफेंस को प्रेज करोगे, अगर चेल्सी की टर्म्स में बात हो रही है तो. और बिग अप टू थियागो सिल्वा कि इस एज में वो ये सब कर रहा है, जिसमें कि मैच के इतने स्टार्टिंग में ही गॉट अ ब्लो फ्रॉम ट्रेवर चालोबा आई गेस, और उसके बावजूद जिस तरीके से उसने करा, एक मेरे को उसका फॉलोअप याद आता है जो वो डियोगो जोता ही था शायद, उसको ड्रैग करता हुआ 1-on-1 सिचुएशन में ड्रैग करता हुआ लेके गया और शॉट वाइड गया उसको। तो लाइक फर्स्टली सबसे पहले थियागो सिल्वा, बिग अप मैन, बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़िया प्लेयर, बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़िया खेला आज। और जहाँ तक मैच की बात अगर करें तो लाइक मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है यार, वो पांचों पेनल्टी सेव ही क्यों हुआ? पांचों पेनल्टी सेव होके
नहीं
वो
मतलब
बहुत
नहीं
बहुत
नहीं
ज़्यादा
सो क्या मतलब सी देखो
चढ़ जाते हैं।
पेनल्टीज में यू कैन नॉट रियली रिएक्ट बिकॉज इट्स लिटरली लॉटरी। मैं बोल रहा हूँ भाई लिटरली लॉटरी है, तो आई डोंट थिंक इट्स फेयर फॉर अस टू
और
रिएक्ट ऑन पेनल्टी
आई थिंक
ना।
मेसन माउंट नीड्स टू गेट बेटर इन द पेनल्टीज एज वेल, क्योंकि उसने लाइक एक चेल्सी सीजन में भी उसने 2 पेनल्टीज जो लिया था, वो भी लाइक जो स्कोर भी हुआ है वो भी लाइक
काफी
गोलकीपर
क्लोज
से
था
लग
कीपर
के
के।
डिफ्लेक्ट होके गोल
राइट राइट।
पोस्ट में गया था। तो ही नीड्स टू इम्प्रूव इन द पेनल्टी सिचुएशंस। और एक वो क्रूशियल पेनल्टी पहले भी उसने लाइक मिस की थी पेनल्टी शूट आउट में, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग।
But
तो
one
बस
guy,
वही
one thing you
तो
guys are missing is actually that Mohamed Salah was taken off at a very early stage. He was actually
एग्जैक्टली वो
struggling to
डियोगो
defend,
जोटा केम ऑन वेरी
and
अर्ली
Diogo
राइट।
Jota wasn't really good with the ball either. उसका form पता नहीं क्या हो गया, but Mohamed Salah dribbles would have definitely started you guys more. It would have pushed you guys back more. So I think
मे
Mohamed
बी
Salah
लेकिन
was the
यार उदय
missing.
मतलब यू हैव अ पॉइंट एब्सोल्युटली, लेकिन यार
Yeah,
अलोंसो एक्चुअली मतलब इफ यू सी ही वाज लिटरली स्टिकिंग फॉर वंस। अलोंसो वाज स्टिकिंग और वो हम फाइव एट द बैक से खेल रहे थे दैट, और अलोंसो एंड रूडिगर का पार्टनरशिप काइंड ऑफ वाज वर्किंग टुडे इवन अगेंस्ट
या
साला मैं
या
बोलूंगा।
एग्जैक्टly,
it was,
ही
but still Salah was
and
getting
it has
into
worked
inward
before as
spaces,
well.
massively. So I don't think I think that would have definitely been a game changer for Liverpool again. I think Diogo Jota wasn't really doing anything. Dribbling to uski bahut hi, it was wahiyat. So
यार
I
मैं
don't
एक
think.
कमेंट लेना चाहता हूँ क्विकली यार
Yeah.
गौरव, दिस इज एग्जैक्टली हमें जो नहीं चाहिए। पुट इट द वे दैट स्पर्श ने बोला कि यार अबाउट द टेक्निक, अबाउट द फुटबॉलिंग एबिलिटी, मे बी द मेंटालिटी, ठीक है। आई डोंट थिंक इज राइट। आई हैव नोन माइकल बैलक इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट सेलिब्रेटेड फुटबॉलर्स मिडफील्डर्स इन मॉडर्न एरा, सिंपल पीरियड राइट। उसने कितने फाइनल्स हारे जाके पूछो माइकल बैलक से। Honestly, Michael Ballack actually he is so down to earth. Trust me, he was the first celebrity footballer who actually had DM'd me ever. Okay, this guy is next level. This guy actually lost a lot of finals, and him kind of even seeing Chelsea win after him gives him happiness. So I think people who lose kind of get it, but the fact that Mount, who is Chelsea through and through, मतलब this was played in London, it was played in Wembley. Imagine Mount actually stepping up. It is not easy. It is not easy. Trust me. और performance में हाँ आप बोलोगे first half an hour में Mount really wasn't there in the game. That is also a point. So it's more about the performance on the pitch rather than the hoodoos और वो सब, मतलब no point about all that यार होता है। मतलब मैंने खुद बोला था प्रीव्यू में, आई थिंक हमने बात किया था क्लियरली निधि के साथ कि अबाउट अगर माउंट थर्ड फाइनल हारता है and the way he has lost, and you can say in a way it's his penalty, so it is heartbreaking to the core, but exactly that is what Mason Mount is, that is what Michael Ballack was, that is the mentality, the thing that we need. And यहाँ पर टीवी पर मैं देख रहा हूँ भाई मानस भाई is on TV, he is exulting with Liverpool winning. मैं खुश नहीं हूँ देखकर, लेकिन that is reality we have to face, और वही मेंटालिटी चाहिए चेल्सी प्लेयर्स में। we have to face, we have to be able to see, इसलिए मैंने उदय को इनवाइट किया। why have I invited Chelsea fans must be thinking भाई लिवरपूल फैन क्यों है पैनल में? We need to see this, we need to see this, trust me, और
अभी
हमें
तो मैं
आना
कुछ
है यार, we need to
अभी तो मैं
absorb
कुछ
it,
इजहार नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ.
come back stronger। नहीं मतलब anyway, if I was in your place today I would have done as well, honestly।
Yeah.
और मैं ये भी बोलूंगा चेल्सी हैव बीन देयर इन एफए कप्स भाई, मतलब वी हैव बीन इन 16 फाइनल्स, वी हैव लॉस्ट 8 and won 8, or there is a reason why we have lost 8, or we have to speak about that, whereas Liverpool have not been in so many finals in recent times, लेकिन again they have gotten over the line this time around. So there is a small amount of mentality, there is the amount of positivity. So you can talk about tactics and all those things, but I don't think we can talk about the superstitions of things, right? But यहाँ पर मैं थोड़ा पीछे कमेंट से quickly ले लेता हूँ। Chelsea are becoming Spurs of FA Cup भाई, Spurs तो यार far from finals on these Gaurav, so I would be Chelsea any day. I would have consolidated, but I think this match Chelsea should have won. Again, Chelsea should have won the Carabao Cup. I think even Liverpool fans काफी मुझे बोला है clearly. I remember Spurs के साथ हम बात कर रहे थे आज ही कल ही शाम को about missing those chances. वही basically repeat हुआ है। हाँ, in that game we were more positive. So Tuchel thought, okay, this time we'll be little bit circumspect कि हमारी form इतनी अच्छी नहीं रही है. So that is what he thought, but
Yeah, I have
he
a
was
question.
proven to be wrong. नहीं Spurs?
I have a question here.
Mm-hmm.
Why did Thomas Tuchel brought on Ruben Loftus-Cheek?
It's a question on every Chelsea fans mouth. Only thing मैं सोच सकता हूँ यहाँ पर, I think हमने बाबा के स्ट्रीम में भी डिस्कस किया था.
फर्स्टली ऐसा लग रहा था कि लाइक ठीक है,
हम्म।
डिफेंसिवली सॉलिड होना चाह रहा है एंड टाइम पे, लाइक ठीक है पेनल्टीज चली जाएंगी तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, बट बंदा रोमेलू लुकाकू से भी कम पीछे आ रहा है. एटलीस्ट रोमेलू लुकाकू कॉर्नर्स पे तो जाता है पीछे, वो बंदा लिटरली आगे ही रहा है और आगे भी खेला नहीं है. कितने मेसन माउंट ने थ्रू बॉल्स निकालने की कोशिश की और उसने रीड ही नहीं किए. I don't know, absolutely don't know what was the reason of Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming on.
I think it's a physical element. It's just that Lukaku was so tired that he couldn't continue. मैं पहले ही बोला था, याद है?
In that position, आपके पास टीमो वर्नर अभी बेंच पे है. What is the point of bringing on?
अच्छा, गौरव वर्नर was injured in warm-ups. ये पता नहीं.
So what was the point of bringing him on and bringing him off after 120 minutes, I guess?
अब देखते हैं यार, मतलब एनी चेल्सी फैंस अगर सुने हैं एनी पोस्ट मैच रिएक्शन, प्लीज हमें बताइए, बिकॉज फॉर मी स्पर्श इज ऑन द स्पॉट. क्योंकि यार फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ब्रिंगिंग हिम आफ्टर यू टेक ऑफ लुकाकू, और यार आई अंडरस्टैंड टायर्ड है, बट आई थिंक आई विल टेक 80% लुकाकू इन स्ट्राइकर पोजीशन versus Loftus-Cheek in 100% as an ability.
और आपका कप फाइनल है और इसके बाद कोई क्रूशियल मैच है नहीं, आप उसको थोड़ा सा ओवरयूज करो तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
मेरे ख्याल से he has panicked. That is the honest answer. मतलब Thomas Tuchel has actually panicked for once, so नहीं होते, and he has panicked, and what he thought is basically it is basically a surprise element. आप देखो यार, Ruben Loftus-Cheek हो गया, then Barkley हो गया, दोनों ही एक तो या तो surprise element हो सकता है, या Ruben Loftus-Cheek is having that physical element. तो instead of basically Werner जो may be injured हो, I don't know, that is yet to be confirmed, लेकिन if he is slightly injured then he will not have the legs or he doesn't have the physicality anyway अगर slightly injured है. तो rather have Ruben Loftus-Cheek जो वहां पर खेल सकता है, और लुकाकू हो सकता है खुद ही बोल दियो कि नहीं, I want to come off. We don't know.
Even if he wanted to come off, but भैया you can't take a gamble like that जिसमें कि आप Ruben Loftus-Cheek को एक ऐसे पोजीशन पे खिला रहे हो जिसमें कि वो कभी खेला नहीं है. Secondly, that too in a cup final. ये चीज पॉइंटलेस लगी मुझको, और उसको आप सब्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ भी कर देते हो एंड में.
हाँ, वो वाला समझ नहीं आया बिल्कुल भी, वो लग नहीं रहा था इंजर्ड. तो आई डोंट नो मतलब वहां पर क्या हुआ, या तो गलती से हो गया. मतलब केपा, एवरीवन थॉट यार डेफिनेटली केपा आने वाला है अगेन. मतलब एज अ लिवरपूल फैन उदय, अगेन कमिंग बैक टू द सब्स्टिट्यूशंस ऑफ चेल्सी, फॉर यू लाइक what were you anticipating? Klopp was so surprised, right? But as in, is it that Mendy on penalties is not great, and you were like, nahi, that is good, or you were like, nahi, here is the surprise element coming in Loftus-Cheek, Barkley. What were you thinking? Because again, let me remind, Barkley, I know मैं कितना भी निंदा करूँ, he's not played at all, but the fact that he has been an Evertonian, plus the fact that he has actually gotten a winning goal against Liverpool a couple of years ago. So there is some amount of history, or plus he's taken penalties in the past. So that is, I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate यहाँ पर उदय. But what were you thinking as an opposition?
Look, if you're talking about the penalties, कि जो players ने penalties ली है, first of all, I think even the players don't want to take the penalties. If you've seen so many cup finals, players are backing off. Juan Moutinho especially was backing off when Cristiano Ronaldo was backing him in that Euro finals to take that penalty. Correct. So I think players don't want to take penalties. Every player was nervous while taking that penalty.
That's a great point. That's a fantastic point. People, again, sorry to cut you Uday, but Uday is making their point, or that tells about Mount. Mount ने नहीं लिया 5 penalties में से, and that tells you what mindset Mount was in. Remember, please Uday, continue.
But nonetheless, if you talk about an eye test, I would personally not rate Mendy at the moment. I know he's made some spectacular saves for you. Short stopping बहुत अच्छी रही उसकी. But मैंने एलिसन को भी रेट नहीं किया था. मैंने एलिसन को भी 2-3 सीजन के बाद रेट किया था. मैं मेंडी को रेट करूंगा अगले सीजन. अभी मैं वेट करूंगा because you never know कि people hyped up a lot about Kepa as well, and how those few fixtures destroyed him, especially that fixture where he had a tiff with Sarri. So I feel it's not right to rate keepers that this soon. I think एक season और दो उसको पता लग जाएगा कि capability कितनी है, because Mendy has also been in the match as well. I think he gave a very easy chance to Liverpool in the first couple of minutes. We should have converted that as well, but वो हुआ नहीं convert. Nonetheless, penalties he should have shown up. एक save, brilliant save he made, but I think he should have saved that James Milner penalty as well, which was the first one. He went in the right direction, but ball just went a little above him. So I think you need to show up as a keeper. You have to show up in penalties, and which Alisson did. So I think kudos to Alisson. but hard luck. It was just luck counted a lot for you guys as well tonight, and it wasn't on your side. So I think
यार खाली tonight नहीं, that's the thing ना उदय, that's the whole point. As a Chelsea fan, हाँ मतलब I should be right, I should be basically sitting on the fence. As a content creator, I don't want to as in produce hate here. Yeah, that is not the intent. Also आप बोलोगे भड़ास निकालने आए है बंदा अपने दोस्तों के साथ. There is some amount of truth in that. Absolutely. यहाँ पर रात के 1 बजे है, बारिश हो रही है भयंकर बाहर, फिर भी यार मैं पता है मुझे, मैं रात को सोने नहीं वाला. I know it. I know it's a matter of fact. That is the reality of it. क्योंकि Mikhail kind of said it right. As in the Chelsea ultras have seen. मतलब we are spoiled as fans. We are spoiled. इतने सारे tournament, इतने सारे cups we have won, especially Wembley. Wembley was our second home, and having 3 back-to-back losses, like Chris says, again big up to Chris. लेकिन out of those 3 losses, Leicester वाला चलो मैं फिर भी ले लेता because of the Champions League run, and of course it was Leicester, so I can still take it. But Arsenal, Liverpool, these are 2 prime rivals of Chelsea. Let's be honest. I won't really take it really happily at all. मतलब I am feeling sorry for the players, but am I so concentrate on Tuchel at this moment in time? Yes, I will say वो बंदा भी human है. He panicked. He probably his management also, it's not Tuchel, it's his backroom staff क्या बताते हैं. There might be some more stories like हमने देखा chat में Werner was slightly injured. Maybe Loftus-Cheek was also injured after coming on. इतना worse luck हो सकता है क्या Chelsea का? शायद ही हो सकता है. Lukaku himself saying that I want to come off. Again, these are stories, speculations. आप बात कर सकते हो, लेकिन इतना सारा bad coincidence स्पर्श नहीं हो सकता. Correct?
Exactly, that was what I was saying. That was मतलब बिल्कुल मेरे दिमाग में सेम चीज थी. ऐसा मतलब ठीक है, we love you Thomas Tuchel, but you have made some difficult decisions or some wrong decisions as well.
Yeah.
So we have to we always praise you in the good moments, but we have to we can't disregard your negative moments as well.
हाँ, he has to face it. At the end of the day, he is a manager.
Exactly.
He represents the club right now as things stand. So मतलब again, firstly Tuchel in. Tuchel has to be there for long term. Why Liverpool and City are successful? Let's face the hard truth, because उन्होंने सस्टेन किया है, उन्होंने कम से कम चेंजेस किया है, और जो भी चीज किया है इस सोच समझ के किया है. We are not going to be reacting. I know we have got a lot of success in the past, but Tuchel is our future. But Tuchel also needs to look at himself, क्योंकि recent 2 months में आप बोलोगे उसके personal problems से कुछ भी थे. He has not been himself. Tuchel has not been himself. Be it in the pressers, be it basically the substitutions, be it the timing of the substitutions. And Matata United, trust me, right now I am just deflated. That is the right word. I am deflated right now, because imagine if your club reaches Wembley 6 times in 7 years, including the Carabao Cup finals, and we actually lose so many times. Imagine that. Just think about it. That's how deflated we are. And Mason Mount missed in Carabao Cup today. Yes, bad for him as well. Warner was limping off. Nizar Cancela, he was injured. Okay, चलो वो तो कंफर्म हो गया है कि वर्नर इतना बड़ा, इतना पता नहीं यार, लक भी यार मरा हुआ लक है. Havertz injured, Warner injured. क्या ही तो बोले. और एस्पिलिक्वेटा लोग बोल रहे he was not motivated about. भाई, how can you determine in a single penalty kick whether he is motivated? And trust me, I wasn't too unhappy कि चालोबा पिक हुए थे. We spoke pre-match, Sparsh. We spoke on Chirag channel, I remember. कि clearly I think चालोबा has something over him, और चालोबा ने अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दिया. चालोबा I think एक मिस्टेक था, he covered it himself.
स्टार्टिंग में थोड़ा सा
हाँ, लेकिन ओवरऑल आई थिंक चालोबा ने अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दिया. आई थिंक इट्स अबाउट एक अभिषेक ने मैसेज किया था, इट्स अबाउट काफी कंट्रोल्ड पोजीशन था. लाइक इवन व्हेन चेल्सी गॉट द पोजीशन, इट वाज बिट टू कंट्रोल्ड. ऐसा नहीं था कि रूडिगर इज गोइंग ऑन हिज नेचुरल रन्स, अलोंसो इज काइंड ऑफ फ्लैंकिंग डाउन विद पेस. वो नहीं हो रहा था बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली इट्स लिवरपूल. बट इज इट लाइक टू नेगेटिव? एंड इन द एंड ऑफ द डे वी आर पुट आवरसेल्व्स इन अ सिचुएशन कि नहीं, पेनल्टीज पर जाते, एक्स्ट्रा टाइम पे जाते, यहाँ पर हो जाएगा गोल. We anyway don't have strikers on the pitch. Let's go with it. Ziyech is basically our best bet to get a goal late. That is not done, yaar. We have to change our mentality. Okay?
I'm sorry I'm butting in, but the thing with Chaloba's addition was that Chaloba's athleticism is way better than what Azpilicueta offers at this age. So Chaloba really tried matching up to Luis Diaz's expectations. कुछ 3-4 chances में वो नहीं कर पाया शुरू में, but बाद में he easily subsided. He easily he came into tune with the match. So it was pretty easy for him. But I think again Ziyech की जो inclusion थी, Ziyech का I know he had a couple of good deliveries also, but Apart from that, I think ZH say better. I think again Timo Werner got injured, but they could have actually gone in with a more pacier addition. I don't know तुम्हारे bench में और कौन था, but ZH का addition में भी कुछ खास समझ
यार
में आया नहीं है.
अगेन मतलब ऑप्शंस नहीं थे ना. हैवर्ट्स इंजर्ड था, वर्नर इंजर्ड था, so we didn't have options. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Again भाई यहाँ पर लाइट चले गई, but again I hope you guys are able to hear me. So we
Yeah,
will
yeah,
still
yeah.
continue the stream as long as the panel is there. Lukaku should have played 120 minutes. I protect Tuchel a lot, but I have to. यार again हिम्मत मैं इतना ही बोलूँगा, लुकाकू ने 90 मिनट्स भी काफी कम खेला है. Again you can go back to that. Why hasn't Tuchel played him enough to be ready for this final? That is also a question. So Hemant, you do have a point कि यार मतलब he was supposed to be ready, or you should have anticipated. Knowing Chelsea कि हमने जो बेन चिलवेल और रीस जेम्स के साथ फेस किया है, there can be a worst case scenario that come the FA Cup final, Havertz और Werner और both will be injured और दोनों ही हो गए यहाँ पर. मतलब or maybe Harvey Vale. Why didn't we use Harvey Vale? मतलब I'm just kind of putting it out there. मतलब again, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to just rant on Tuchel alone. I'm saying Tuchel in. But the fact that there have been decisions which are questionable, we need to basically talk about it. इसलिए हम यहाँ पर हैं. Of course, we need to keep our heads up, and that is the mentality जो दिखाएगी ये team, and that is what we need as a squad. हम चाहते हैं. But talking about the squad, that's why he didn't care Aspi, RLC, Barkley. But I don't know, man. मतलब स्पर्श इस squad में मतलब who are your leaders for the future? Who are you seeing कि यार नहीं, these are indispensable. We cannot get rid of these players. And who are the players who actually looked here? They were fighting for the badge from this match.
भैया अगर लाइक यंग प्लेयर्स की बात करें, फॉर द फ्यूचर प्लेयर्स की बात करें, तो लाइक आई नो मेसन माउंट मिस द पेनल्टी, बट ही इज थ्रू एंड थ्रू चेल्सी, तो ही हैज टू बी देयर फर्स्टली. सेकेंडली चालिबा स्टेप्ड अप. स्टार्टिंग में थोड़ा शेकी लग रहा था, लेकिन ही स्टेप्ड अप लेटर ऑन. तो चालिबा आई थिंक विल बी देयर एंड थ्रू द टफ टाइम्स एज वेल. और तो लाइक मेरे को ऐसा कोई प्लेयर स्टैंड आउट नहीं करा. लाइक आई नो हैवर्ट्स इज अ प्लेयर who we will bank upon for the future, और जो कि हमारा प्लेयर होगा, बिग गेम प्लेयर होगा फॉर द लॉन्ग टर्म. बट अभी आज के हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो भी हम लाइक नो वन स्टेप्ड अप. रीस जेम्स ही मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि हाँ, रीस जेम्स एंड लाइक ट्रेवर चालिबा डिड वेल, लेकिन लीडरशिप के हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो मेरे को लाइक आई वुड लाइक मतलब मेरे को ढूंढने पड़ेंगे नेम. तो
एग्जैक्टली दैट इज द पॉइंट. तो अगेन रिक्रूटमेंट पे आ जाती बात. यहाँ पर सादिक भाई बोल रहे हैं हेंडरसन वाज क्वाइट ब्रिलियंट टुडे. मतलब दैट इज द पॉइंट. व्हेन इट मैटर्स दे स्टूड अप. आई नो दैट अगेन दे मिस चांसेस आल्सो. मतलब इट कुड हैव गॉन ईदर वे. उदय व्हेन रॉबर्टसन हिट द पोस्ट, व्हेन लुइस डियाज हिट द पोस्ट, उदय टेल द ट्रूथ, यू probably got 1 second नहीं आज. टुडे इज नॉट our night, right?
For sure, I think Robertson's chance was the best chance in the night. But I think again, Alonso को भी काफी chances थे जो उसको लेने चाहिए थे. उसका भी एक post पे लगा था जो free kick थी उसकी from the near post. But nonetheless, I think like he mentioned, Henderson had a good game. To be honest, his positioning as a number 6 was better than what I've seen from Fabinho as of late. Even though I know Fabinho is a very crucial element of the squad, but Henderson की जो positioning थी, he was at least getting into those positions from where we were not really losing the midfield. हमारे पास बॉल थी नहीं, तब भी हम एटलीस्ट वी वर रिट्रैक्टिंग बैक, वी वर ब्रिंगिंग आवर प्लेयर्स बैक. थियागो हैड गुड गेम्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ पासिंग एंड इंटेंसिटी, बट अगेन थियागो का ये था कि ही वाज लूजिंग क्रूशियल बॉल्स आल्सो. 2-3 इंस्टेंसेस पे जहां चेल्सी काउंटर करने लग गई थी. तो आई थिंक थियागो का आई विल गिव हिम अ 7 आउट ऑफ 10. बट नॉनदलेस आई थिंक केटा एज वेल हैड अ गुड गेम इन द फर्स्ट हाफ, बट सेकंड हाफ में थोड़ा वैसे लग रहा था कि ही वाज लूजिंग बॉल्स एज वेल. तो आई थिंक केटा एंड थियागो से बेटर आई थिंक हेंडरसन की परफॉर्मेंस थी आज फॉर श्योर. बाकी अटैकिंग आउटपुट में आई थिंक हमारे फुल बैक्स की गेम नहीं थी आज, मोस्टली हमारे अटैकर्स की गेम थी. लुइस डियाज की गेम थी आज अटैकिंग आउटपुट में. तो आई थिंक
मैं थोड़ा कमेंट लेना चाहूंगा. आई नो आई एम कटिंग यू. हाँ स्पष्ट. तो यहाँ पर थोड़े कमेंट्स आ रहे हैं. यहाँ पर काफी चेल्सी फैंस बोल रहे हैं टुकल इज नॉट टू बी ब्लेम्ड. यार इट इज बेसिकली अ टीम स्पोर्ट, और द टीम इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय अ मैनेजर, एंड व्हेन यू आर एक्चुअली in a position where you have to make decisions, it is not the players on the pitch who make that. It is the manager and his team, of course. He has a backroom staff, but he is responsible. Again, I repeat, I am not anti-Tuchel, don't get me wrong at all. But the fact that Tuchel made those decisions, that is only, I would say that is the main thing that I am saying that nahi. Tuchel kind of first of all made late decisions, and whether the decisions were right, that is the thing. Super Tommy Tuchel, Sports Kappa, मैं जानता हूँ Pulisic has been not clinical at all. और आप बोल सकते हो maybe because Todd Boehly being there, the American connection, suddenly Pulisic is starting that I don't know, there might be something behind that, I don't know about it. अरे आ गई लाइट यहाँ पर, कुछ तो पॉजिटिविटी आई लाइफ में. लेकिन अगेन पुलिसिक, मतलब यू रिमेंबर एक मोमेंट था स्पर्श. इट वाज अबाउट बेसिकली आई थिंक पुलिसिक बीटिंग 3 or 4 प्लेयर्स इन मिडफील्ड एंड फिर देयर वाज नो वन अप. तो एबिलिटी वाइज ही इज देयर, द प्रॉब्लम इज हिज फिनिशिंग. मतलब दैट इज द ओनली
फिनिशिंग
प्रॉब्लम.
एंड द
लेकिन
फाइनल पास एज वेल.
फाइनल पास, बट हु इज बेटर, हु इज बेटर, आप बोलो कोई है बेटर चेल्सी स्क्वाड में?
नहीं मतलब लाइक इन टर्म ऑफ ड्रिबलिंग नो वन इज बेटर देन हिम. लाइक ड्रिबलर तो वही बेस्ट है, वन ऑफ द बेस्ट है. बट वी कैन प्ले बेटर विदाउट हिम एज वेल. हम खेल सकते हैं उसके बिना ज़्यादा बेटर. लाइक अगर हम हैवर्ट्स या फिर वर्नर के साथ जाते अप फ्रंट और लाइक मेसन माउंट को नंबर 10 के पोजीशन में खिलाते और मिडिल में थोड़े से कॉम्बिनेशन क्रिएट करने की कोशिश करते और लाइक उस तरीके से अगर हम खेलते तो वो भी लाइक काफ़ी सही रहता. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो नहीं था केस. लेकिन वही यार लाइक क्रिस्टियन पुलिसिक पिछले कुछ टाइम से ऐसा ही रहा है, इसीलिए उसको स्टार्टिंग 11 में जगह नहीं मिल रही है. और क्या रीजन है उसको स्टार्टिंग 11 में जगह नहीं मिल रही? यही तो रीजन है.
नहीं मतलब एग्जैक्टली. मतलब अगेन सूरज, यू बीन आस्किंग अबाउट लॉफ्टस चीक वाला, हम बात कर चुके हैं बाय द वे काफी. और हमारे तो यार पले नहीं पड़ रहे. मतलब इट इज टोटली आउट ऑफ आवर माइंड्स कि क्या था फर्स्ट. हाँ, वी कैन टू सम एक्सटेंट अंडरस्टैंड कि वो क्यों आए थे. लुकाकू माइट हैव बीन रियली टायर्ड, ही कुडंट हैव डन एनीथिंग अबाउट इट. और मे बी डिफेंसिव सेट पीसेस के लिए लॉफ्टस चीक वाज अ वेपन. मतलब आई डोंट नो, वन ऑफ दोस थिंग्स आप बोल सकते हो. We cannot play at Liverpool, but again, who knows the answer? Only Tuchel knows, and that's why हम Tuchel को ही question करेंगे. That is the only option. But we are behind him still, right? We cannot play at Liverpool level. You have to reflect at our team. We are not. Yeah, super Tommy Tuchel. One is knowing that we have not played that this season. लेकिन if you actually carefully see, again I repeat, Chelsea 3, Liverpool 3. That has been the season story till December when we had all the players, when we had Ben Chilwell, when we had Reece James. Wasn't Liverpool 1-1? There was a game where हमने देखा था टक्कर दे सकती है भाई चेल्सी. अरे वापस आ गई.
टक्कर दिया है. You've actually given us a good combat each and every time. ऐसी बात नहीं है. Every game in this season you've drawn it literally. So I think even that 2-0 game where we were 2-0 up and you guys came 2-all. That was a massive game. You guys were dominating in the second half as well. So obviously Chelsea can match up to that level, but again, consistency-wise, you cannot at the moment because we haven't seen that from Chelsea this season at all. So I think consistently you need to give those performances, which Liverpool and City have done. So I think next season, obviously, Tuchel will be looking to tweak a system or bring in more players. Maybe I don't know what he'll be doing, but yeah, let's see क्या करते हैं. But again,
and certainly हम बात करने वाले उसके बारे में कि again like Aspilicueta, मुझे तो the moment Aspilicueta did not even come as an early sub, told me a lot of things कि Aspilicueta और Werner both are going. लेकिन अभी देखते हैं Werner injured है. That is one of the
we haven't given credits to Reece James and Alonso because the deliveries were pretty massive. Their deliveries were better than Trent's and Robertson's in this game. They did their best. I think both fullbacks performed their best. So your
I think
fullbacks
मतलब again shout out definitely goes out क्योंकि Liverpool proper ले रही थी हमें. First 15 minutes of the first half, last 15 minutes of the second half, we were like, oh my god, ये खत्म हो जाए time बस. That was what we were thinking. I remember यार Mendy already time waste करना शुरू कर दिए थे on both the cases. So that is telling a lot. And Suman Chatterjee, मतलब हमने बात किया है, maybe you joined late, I don't know. Or same with Super Tommy Tuchel. We did mention that okay, definitely there has been poor finishing and there has been basically a lot of defenders today who did well. Thiago Silva after getting injured, he actually played on and played really really well. Reece James, like Uday said, Alonso जैसे हमने बोला कि यार even when Salah was there, he didn't give Salah that opportunity जो हम सोच रहे थे होगा इस मैच में. And maybe आप बोलोगे Luis Diaz was that X factor जहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम थी, लेकिन वहाँ भी Chalobah actually coped up with time. तो towards the end of the match आप देखते हो Chalobah was doing much better. हाँ, एक थ्रू बॉल जो था टाइम एंड अगेन वो आ रहा था, वी वर नॉट रीडिंग इट, वो था ट्रेंट का. वी वरंट क्लोजिंग ट्रेंट. ट्रेंट वाज अ गाय जो टाइम एंड अगेन ऊपर से खेल रहे थे थ्रू बॉल क्रॉसेस और इवन ऑन द ग्राउंड इन द मिडल ऑफ द पिच. वो एक प्रॉब्लम थी और वहां पर टैक्टिक्स की वो इट इज टैक्टिक्स. When you see that as a management, you have to say the players कि नहीं, this is something that they are creating chances out of. So you need to stop that particular inlet. And वही मैं बोलूंगा, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ टूकल के बारे में. Silva, good, absolutely. Reece Mount, Chalobah played for the match 100%. Yes, yeah, he absolutely right. Guys, if you feel Ankit bhai, yeah, it's not about just me, people, everyone, even Rahul. आप देख रहे हो मैं बोला जैसे 1 बजे स्पर्श भी, we have done a very very long stream आज भी, and he's there. And yeah, of course, like we all love Chelsea, and we are also talking to a Liverpool fan in the hardest time. लेकिन अगेन उदय इज अ फ्रेंड, बट वी नो हमें बैंटर मिलने वाला है, उदय से भी मिलने वाला है, ये ऑल्सो आई नो,
नहीं
बट
दे रहा हूँ
दैट इज पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ बीइंग अ फैन, यू नो, बीइंग अ फुटबॉल फैन, एज लॉन्ग एज हम लिमिट में रहे. तो यस, सर्टनली सपोर्ट तो बनता है, लाइक वी ऑलवेज सपोर्ट चेल्सी. आई एम assuming all of those watching we are supporting Almighty Blues FC, and that is why it gives me the confidence along with my panel to come. Otherwise हम आते ही नहीं यार, obviously. Thanks राहुल उसके लिए. Leaders Reece James, Mount, Jorginho. Jorginho, man, again स्पर्श, एक प्लेयर जो वेरी वेरी स्ट्रांगली लिंक्ड, एसपी लिंक्ड, रूडिगर लिंक्ड है. लीडर्स को क्यों, मतलब हम आर वी एज चेल्सी फैंस taking age too much into consideration, और हम लीडर्स को we are getting rid of too early? Is it fair to say that?
हाँ, पॉसिबली, मतलब आई एग्री विद दिस, लाइक हाँ ऐसा है कि लाइक हम बहुत ज़्यादा एज को कंसिडर कर रहे हैं, और जबकि थियागो सिल्वा को हम एज एन एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं, 38 पे ही इज डूइंग दिस लेवल पे ऐसा. तो उस हिसाब से भी अगर देखा जाए तो हम एज का, जैसे एक पॉलिसी है चेल्सी का कि they don't extend more than 1 year for the people who, for the players basically who are above 30. तो लाइक वो पॉलिसी भी आई गेस चेंज होना चाहिए, क्योंकि a lot of players, बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स इसी रीजन की वजह से चले जाते हैं कि लाइक 30 प्लस होने के बाद भी वो डिजर्विंग होते हैं और उनको नहीं मिलता है बड़ा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. तो आई ऑल्सो थिंक कि हाँ, हम काफ़ी ज़्यादा एज को एज अ फैक्टर ले रहे हैं, जो कि उतना ज़्यादा हमें नहीं लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि मॉडर्न डे फुटबॉलर्स आर वेरी मच कंसर्न्ड अबाउट देयर हेल्थ, और वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा लाइक अपनी बॉडीज़ का केयर करते हैं. तो आई थिंक एज को हम काफ़ी जल्दी मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा हायर एज मान रहे हैं प्लेयर्स की. तो आई थिंक कि हाँ, थोड़ा लाइक टाइम देना चाहिए प्लेयर्स को, लीडर्स को रखना चाहिए. शायद उसी वजह से जो हम लीडर्स को जाने दे रहे हैं, उसी वजह से शायद यंग प्लेयर्स में वो मेंटालिटी का इशू भी आ रहा हो. आई गेस, आई होप ऐसा ना हो, लेकिन आई गेस हो सकता है वो चीज़ भी. लेकिन वो चीज़ अगर एड्रेस होगी तो आई गेस बेटर रिजल्ट्स आएंगे. आई होप आएंगे.
या एंड अगेन यार, फेलो कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स, अगर आप आना चाहो, आप एक्सप्रेस करना चाहो, तो वी आर डेफिनेटली वेलकम. Matt, I don't know bro if you're still there. I know it's at an odd time in Australia, but if you are still there, Matt, Zoe, if you're still there, please do come on. I've just DM'd you the link on Twitter, so if you can just come on. And again, I'm not sharing it open because of obvious reasons, you know what happened. तो मैं ओपन लिंक नहीं करूंगा, लेकिन anyway, सादिक भाई, मैट, मिकाइल, चेल्सी
यहाँ पे
पर्सपेक्टिव,
कमेंट है कि पुलिसिक ने पेनल्टी नहीं ली. He took the penalties, right? He took it and
नहीं
missed it.
नहीं, Pulisic was subbed already.
Yeah,
Mason Mount missed it, right? Mason Mount.
नहीं, so to super Tommy Tuchel again यार, Tuchel is not responsible for missing chances. Our forwards are not good enough. वो तो reality है. They are not good enough simply, or they are too young to basically take the responsibility. I am of the school of thought कि यार we need like a Lukaku, we need more players on the pitch जो किए हैं, you know, week in week out, year in year out वो लोग किए हैं. We probably need them. We probably need more experience. Like why are Liverpool thriving अभी? You wouldn't have experienced this Liverpool doing this 5 years ago because Mane, Salah weren't the players 5 years ago जो आज के दिन में हैं. ठीक है, तो that is a factor की आती है. तो we would like to, you know, see a recruitment, but that is a long term thing. शॉर्ट टर्म में अभी तो मैच ही देखेंगे ना, मैच में यू आर हैविंग व्हाट यू आर हैविंग. तो जैसे मैंने स्पर्श से पूछा सुपर टॉपिक टोकल, वी डोंट हैव मेनी बेटर ऑप्शंस ओनली आज के दिन में, स्पेशली वी हैड इंजरीज. हाँ, यू कैन क्वेश्चन, यू नो, अबाउट द टाइमिंग ऑफ द, यू नो, प्लेयर्स. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम डूइंग. अगेन कोवाचिच नॉट 100% फिट, यू नो. हाँ, यू कैन से दैट इसने इतना क्रिएट नहीं किया, बट एट द सेम टाइम आई थिंक दोस टू चांसेस आ रहे हैं. वो कोवाचिच ने जो रन पे किया था, ही एक्चुअली गॉट फ्री किक्स. That could have been one of the weapons. So we were down with the luck factor also, and the fact that हमारे forwards अच्छे नहीं है इतने, they didn't take their chances. जो भी थे first half में 3 बढ़िया chances थे, at least 2 तो I would say that we should have worked the goalkeeper proper, which we did not. Alonso chance and the Pulisic chance, ठीक है, definitely. लेकिन second half में the timing of the substitutions, the kind of substitutions you make, you sub a sub, those are definitely Tuchel's decisions, man. I mean, you cannot really argue that. Or we were playing with false 9 for almost an hour. Nahi Sparsh, we were almost playing for an hour.
Exactly.
So that shows like counter attacking can be one of the things. लेकिन भाई, we didn't have Pulisic. He subbed off Pulisic also. तो pace कहाँ था? You needed pace for counter attacking. You need Pulisic's pace. Despite him not finishing chances, if you are wanting to counter attack, you need Pulisic or Werner on the pitch. Period. वो दोनों ही नहीं थे. और Havertz तो यार, he was out on the bench also because of injury. Well, LFC played well for more phases than CFC, seemed to threaten over and over, while Chelsea were just playing counters but not serious about chances. Exactly, Kyle and me know exactly what we mean. और ये
story of the story of the game like stated in a single statement. Very
story of Chelsea for the last 18 months. Period. again, matlab, I know I shouldn't be criticizing. This is not the right
Summarized very
moment.
well.
Lekin there is a point where we need to also talk about that. Ki why are the other teams more successful in recent time? Not that Chelsea aren't successful. ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं. लेकिन not as much. That Champions League win in a very strange way marred over the cracks. I don't know if Uday will agree with this. Do you think this has happened with Chelsea, Uday, as an opposition?
I think, to be honest, that Champions League game was also something which could have gone either way around. It all came down to, I don't think both the teams performed very great in that fixture either. A 1-0 का win था. So I think again you guys deservedly won that. But again, if it's not something which you are feeling very complacent or you're feeling very overconfident from that win, I don't think so. I think Chelsea resorted to self-infliction. Whatever happened to Chilwell and Reece James, I think you lost them pretty early in the season. I think you were on top through August, September, October, and November. As soon as
अरे
November came, you guys actually hit the
December
bottom.
1st को हम top of the table थे.
हाँ, तो वहां से आपका डाउनफॉल हिट हुआ. एंड ऑब्वियसली चेल्सी हर सीजन ये होता है चेल्सी के साथ, पहले वो अच्छा खेलती है, फिर बीच में बॉक्सिंग डे के आसपास आके रुक जाती है. सो आई थिंक द सेम थिंग हैपेंड विद यू. आई थिंक इट्स जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ कंसिस्टेंसी. एंड ऑब्वियसली Lukaku didn't really turn up that big for you guys, but otherwise I think kudos to him. He scored 3 goals in those 2 matches. But again, people started rating him too early again, man. By the end of the season he'll start performing. Okay, he's scored 3 goals in 2 matches doesn't mean he's consistent enough. You need to give him more time. You can't just have these premature judgments this soon.
या अगेन यार आई नो काफी लेट हो गया है और स्पर्श मतलब आपको जाना है, लेकिन उससे पहले आप बेसिकली सम अप करिए व्हाट इज योर लास्ट फील एंड अगेन व्हाट आर पॉजिटिव्स और नेगेटिव्स फ्रॉम दिस गेम फ्रॉम द सीजन, क्योंकि मुझे तो लग रहा है सीजन ही खत्म हो गया. एंड आई नो यार अगेन पीपल राहुल बोल रहे हैं 75 लाइक्स और मैंने स्पर्श का चैनल का लिंक डाला है. आई नो इट्स ऑन द राइट टाइम बट अगेन इट हेल्प्स, सर्टेनली इट हेल्प्स. 1:15 बजे रात को ही इज हियर डिस्पाइट चेल्सी लूजिंग the only trophy that we would have won, the major one in recent time. So you can imagine. So let's support Cotton Bold also and do like the stream of Almighty Blues FC. लेकिन हाँ please first please sum up आपके.
भैया पॉजिटिव्स तो लाइक आई कांट एड्रेस एनी पॉजिटिव्स राइट नाउ. मेरे को नहीं नजर आते कुछ खास पॉजिटिव्स, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से हम इतने सारे फाइनल्स आ रहे हैं, एफए कप फाइनल्स आ रहे हैं टू बी वेरी प्रिसाइज, वो लाइक जस्टिफाइड नहीं है भैया. मतलब लाइक और आज की अगर स्पेसिफिकली बात करी जाए तो जिस तरीके से हमने मैच को जाने दिया ना, जितने इजीली हमने लाइक सेकंड हाफ इतना अच्छे से स्टार्ट करने के बाद हमने लेटर ऑन मैच को बिल्कुल ऐसे छोड़ रखा था कि लाइक हाँ ठीक है चलो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बस डिफेंड करते हैं और फिर we'll go to the penalties and see our luck, see out our luck basically. तो that's not a big team mentality I guess. तो वो तो इशू है ही है. और लाइक पॉजिटिव्स मेरे को नहीं नजर आते भैया. और इतने बड़े लाइक एफए कप फाइनल के बाद, कप लॉस के बाद, आई कांट एड्रेस एनी पॉजिटिव्स राइट नाउ.
चलो कोई नहीं, I'll take that part. मतलब I understand the sentiments absolutely भाई. मतलब again we'll be talking more on the channel over the summer, क्योंकि हाँ transfer market will be very very crucial for not only this season but for a future as
yeah exactly, क्योंकि a lot of our players are going to leave this summer. मतलब काफी सारे फ्री पे भी जा रहे हैं और कुछों का मन नहीं लग रहा है यहाँ पे. कुछ के साथ कुछ इशू है. कोई कह रहा है कि हमें प्लेइंग टाइम नहीं है. तो ये समर का जो ट्रांसफर विंडो है बहुत क्रूशल होने वाला है. तो उस पे करेंगे भी डिस्कशन. तो
देखो मतलब ऑलरेडी मतलब चैट भी थोड़ी स्प्लिट है, तो आई अंडरस्टैंड भाई. मतलब चेल्सी फैंस आर काइंड ऑफ स्प्लिट राइट नाउ और दिस इज बेसिकली इमोशन टॉकिंग. लेट्स एब्सोल्युटली अंडरस्टैंड दैट. Let's not overreact. Beat everyone, and again let's support Cotton Bold. Sparsh is regular in the channel as well. Sparsh time हो गया. I know we will hopefully meet very soon and hopefully all positive होगा next time भाई. चलो good night.
Thank you so much for having me.
अरे always यार आपका ये. चलो यार Sparsh is going but yeah absolutely वो तो बनता है.
Thank you. I'll drink to the victory tonight.
अरे भाई ये बस मतलब थोड़ा सा मतलब we'll also do probably but in a different mood.
yeah.
But there are many comments coming in here, Ankit, that what if Kepa would have started in those penalties. Again, obviously we can actually predict ये हो सकता था, वो हो सकता था, but he is the person who actually lost that cake in the Carabao Cup final too. So I mean you can't just say that Mendy should have been taken off. I think it's just a matter of, again, penalties is all about luck, man. It is not really about your abilities or whatever it is. Luck is a 50% factor in when you are trying to save those penalties. So I think
Matt is here, people. Again, people who do not know Zoe, do check him out. And again, this is probably the right moment. I probably needed Matt here because Matt is one, like, for people who do not know, people who do not know, Matt not only looks like Kepa, he actually believes in Kepa. And now we were just talking to Uday about Kepa with the chat about Kepa, and big
Yeah.
up to the late winner show about Kepa and talking and same tackle from behind, deep inside Kepa. Like again, it's probably a meme. I know coming, Matt, but in hindsight, firstly, just react, man. I just wanted to react. Go, it's all yours.
I'll answer that question first before I get into the game. And honestly, I want to keep my answers consistent. I said I wasn't upset that Mendy was going to start, but however, I knew Kepa was going to do a better job than Mendy if he was on that pitch. Kepa would have definitely saved that one. I don't know why a keeper goes on his knees when he knows the ball's in the air. The ball's in the air, so he drops to his knees and tries to make a save. To me, that makes no sense. I don't know why he did that, but I'm not angry at Mendy. I don't expect him to be a penalty-saving keeper. That's why we have Kepa. Tuchel didn't do it. He subbed on Barkley and
Barkley.
Loftus-Cheek and all these absolute. I'm not gonna say the word. I don't think I
Okay,
can say it here.
now that you're joining, Matt, is there any news out there? What happened? Like, I really want to know what happened there.
I was just looking
Really
now. I
wanna-
was trying to get an answer too. He hasn't come for his press conference yet. He didn't show up, so I don't know what that's about.
Oh,
But for me, that just shows Loftus-Cheek is finished. I remember I was saying a month ago that Loftus-Cheek is already finished player. Today, he's done. He is done out here. I don't want to ever see him in a Chelsea kit again. He's finished. He's shocking. He comes on for 10 minutes, gets subbed off. If that's an injury, why we force him to play anyway when we've got Werner on the bench? And then he wants to make these risks as a sub, but he puts Barkley and playing 5 months on the pitch. To me, that makes no sense. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. I don't know what you were thinking about it, Ankit. Like when you saw Loftus-Cheek come on the pitch, what was your thoughts on it?
my thought was only like it could only be injury. There was no other logic. Yeah, firstly, I thought maybe he's coming out as a midfielder because again, in midfield, Jorginho has played a great game despite him not being in form. And I thought maybe he's tired, so we need another body in the midfield, and that's why he's coming. And maybe Mason Mount will be a number 9. But no, to our surprise, it was Loftus-Cheek playing the false 9 or the number 9, as you say. And he couldn't make a run. There was a ball where Kante had a chance, like so Kante was waiting for this guy to make a run. He doesn't make, and then he suddenly makes a run when he's offside. And you want Kante to pass the ball then. He isn't a forward, boss. Like, he isn't a forward. He's not known for goal scoring ability. Yes, he got us to the final. He scored that brilliant goal. I love the guy. I love the guy, the Chelsea through and through guy. But that doesn't give him the the badge to actually be a striker for Chelsea, especially when we need a goal. So it was clear for me that we weren't really going for the goal. It was like, okay, if we get a goal in extra time, fantastic. But that's a bonus. That is the way Tuchel saw, or maybe Lukaku actually said to Tuchel, "No, I cannot continue." Because even like I said earlier, I was talking with Sparsh. A 70 to 80% Lukaku is better than 100% Loftus-Cheek in the striker position.
sure.
Right? Would you take that? Right?
100%.
Exactly.
To be honest, Ankit, I don't blame Loftus-Cheek. I know he's already a horrible player. He's garbage. He's just dog shit. Like I don't expect him to come on and do anything good because he's not a striker. He's not a player for Chelsea. And when I saw him come on, he said the same thing. I was like, okay, we'll give him Jorginho a rest. I don't know why we're doing that, but we're giving him a rest. And then he comes on that striker, and for me, that just shut me off. And after that, I just lost all motivation. And then when extending to that, I saw Barkley come on. I lost even more motivation. I said, that's it. We still, as soon as we took off Lukaku, we couldn't get a ball going. We couldn't play any fluidity. Normally, we have more fluidity with Lukaku off the pitch. But when he was on the pitch, we had more. It makes no sense. Every week, our consistency of strategies change. And that has to go on either the manager or the players. For me, I'm not going to determine who that is. But the manager has a massive blame to play today. Absolute massive blame.
But it all comes down to you guys needed more energy in that phase as well, right? I mean, when those substitutions were being made, I think it wasn't about technical ability being counted in that phase. It was more about freshness being there. And we know Ross Barkley and RLC can actually play that role of driving through the midfield. And they've done that in the past couple of games without any consistency, obviously. I think I get a point. But again, I think that's just something that I agree to. Again, coming down... Yeah.
Go on.
Just putting the blame on the manager on such a crucial occasion is, again, I don't think it's completely fair because, again, these were two heavyweights that were facing one another. So I think, the manager is to be blamed for some substitutions, for not bringing Werner on. Maybe he was injured or whatever it was. But yeah, I think I partly agree to what you say.
No, is the Barkley and Loftus-Cheek again? It might be injury. It might be the worst case scenario about Chelsea getting Havertz injured, getting Werner injured, Lukaku saying that no, I want to come off, I feel injured, and maybe Loftus-Cheek after coming on says I feel injured. like that is like unreal. That is basically very bookish. I don't really foresee that. Maybe in hindsight, Tuchel says that. Plus, Christensen not being on the bench, as much as I
Mm.
despise the guy after what he's done to Chelsea, him not being an option on the bench is also not really very smart in my view.
Yeah.
Again, maybe Tuchel knows better. But these are like 5 calls. So again, I exactly get what Uday is saying. I am again repeating. People watching, Tuchel in, Tuchel give him a lifetime contract. I don't
Mm.
care. I just want stability at the club. I want a particular direction that the club needs to go to, because especially with the new owners out there, we need the manager to be strong, and we know that this guy is strong, right? And of course, he's had personal problems and stuff like that. But at the same time, these are 5 decisions in one game. Plus the fact that he's not put Lukaku in a situation to be so match fit to be able to play 120 minutes, and that
Mm.
has been a Tuchel call as well. So it's not just this match. So that's why I'm talking about Tuchel, and it's no hate to Tuchel, of course. We are just putting it in an objective manner that okay, what is it that is surprising? What is it that Tuchel and the backroom staff also need to look at themselves for the future? Because let's be honest, our season is over. And again, congratulations to Liverpool fans. Mikhail had an interesting comment about Matt, that Chelsea season would still be a success considering the circumstances, and we've got the Club World Cup, our Super Cup, two of the cups that have eluded us forever. Uh, do you think you would have the same stance, or are you like going to be saying that no, this is probably below average
In terms of performance.
in the season? How do you rate our season?
Oh,
Simply,
our
now that the
season.
season is
Oh,
over.
I think our season was garbage. I think, I want to go back to that point and add into the question that, we said, Loudmouth said that Barkley and Loftus-Cheek come in to provide dribbling and bringing the ball up from the midfield to the attack. That's what they do. But I'm at the moment form over strategies. And that's been our whole season summed up. We don't bring on players for strategies. We bring on players because they're in form. And that sums up our season. We don't bring on Werner because he can dribble, because he can do these things we signed him for. No. We just brought him on because he's on form. Same with Lukaku. Same with the Ziyech for 2 games, Loftus for 1 game. And that's been our whole season summed up. We haven't put on players in our attack for strategies, and attack's been the main problem. Remember the start of the season, people were blaming our midfield. Oh, midfielders aren't turning over, this, that. Attackers can't shoot. Later down the line, we figured it out. Attacking is the major problem. And next season, we're not going to fix it any better because we can't. Who comes in realistically and comes in and can fix our attack? No one can. So now we're going to start the
Mhm.
back and we're going to build our way up. So for me, I think this whole season I think it was absolute garbage. And for me, no, I said this last week, no blame goes on Tuchel. These aren't his players he wants. He doesn't want 9 of these, 15, 16 players. He doesn't want half of them. So
He
for me,
wanted
and
Hakimi. He wanted Hakimi, man. As in, where
he
is
wanted
Hakimi?
Hakimi, he wanted Haaland, he wanted this, but we bring him Saul and bring him a lamppost. It doesn't work. And
Correct, correct.
But you've
Yeah,
got more
as in, by
players
the way,
in the
firstly,
attacking
quickly,
department
Uday,
than you have.
just give
Yeah,
me a second.
no
Uday,
problem.
1 second. I'm not too sure about his Matata unit. I'm not too sure. Again, I think the answer is a no. But if anyone knows, can certainly help Matata United. But the fact that you guys are supporting late in the night, obviously, means that you kind of care. And you want to hear what the tactical, as in reasons are. And again, I'll come to Uday because so
Uh,
all of a
yeah,
sudden, even City are basically in a similar boat. Them only
yeah.
winning the Premier League, which probably looks likely, will probably say that Liverpool are the winners in the larger scheme of things. Would they? Like, pretty sure that your chest must be bumping right now.
It is definitely bumping, but then I'm not really focusing on the quadruple or whatever it is because we have lost the league already. City are not losing those 2 fixtures, and I'm sure Pep would be wanting to get the Premier League again. But nonetheless, my question to you guys was that you guys have had more attacking additions this season and even the prior couple of seasons. Lukaku has been there, Havertz has been there, Pulisic, Mount, Werner, all these forwards have been there, even Ziyech for that matter. But then you still had a problem with the attacking output, right? You had
Mhm.
defensive problems. You had your fullbacks missing in and out of the season.
COVID.
What really went wrong with your season in terms of those chances not being created, servicing not being there in a couple of games? What do you think can Tuchel do from here onwards? I mean, what
I
tweak
think
will he get into the system?
just Vaila kind of hit the nail on the head, because I think give Tuchel the player he wants. I think Matt has already spoken about it. It's about Tuchel's plan and the backroom staff. Like the way he's trying to play with players who don't have the ability, or they don't have the just that cutting edge, like we had in the past. I know it's easy for us. We are spoiled as Chelsea fans. We had an Ivanovic in the past. We had a Drogba in the past. We had a Lampard. We had a Terry. We had even a Solomon Kalou. Trust me, that guy had mentality.
Yeah, that
You
was
know,
he was something. Yeah.
and
But are
Liverpool
you
fans
saying that
remember,
if you get
absolutely remember.
Ashraf Hakimi in, would you want to take out Reece James? Is that what you're trying to say? Where would you play him
No,
if
no.
you bring in
So I
Ashraf
think
Hakimi?
Tuchel, again, I have disagreed with Tuchel. Tuchel believes that Reece James' best position when asked, he was in two minds. So Tuchel thinks it might be right centre back, it might be right wing back. He can play
Hmm.
equally as good. So I
Yeah,
think what he was forcing is we will have two overlapping fullbacks who will kind of do the job for us as defensively and attackingly. Which in on the left hand side as well he was looking, because Rudiger and Alonso a lot of times actually do that. I've said on the stream many a times, Rudiger thinks that he's a left winger because he's actually going on those runs, and today he did not do that. The reason is because we don't have that attacking prowess in the team generally, so we are like we better defend, and that is the first thing that Tuchel thought. So yes, definitely the squad is an issue, but again, in a final where we are already there, we can't change the squad overnight, can we? And that's where I think it comes back to Tuchel. Uday, I know Tuchel as an Uday is probably in a much calmer mind at this point in time. Probably he's saying the right things that probably I should, Matt should. But the fact that I think, again, it comes down to that moment, and you are a great manager because of moments. I don't think all these managers, all these players are bad. Anyone else is not bad. Come on, they have reached a certain level because of what they have done in their careers, right? And that's the only difference about making the right decisions. And there is a certain amount of luck. Luck hasn't played its part at all. It played to a certain extent when we won both the Champions League. I have to admit, and that is part for every particular. If Liverpool win the Champions League, there will be a certain amount of luck. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we create that luck, and that is what Liverpool do with going to the extra gear. Not giving up even in the last minute. I know it's penalties, but despite missing those chances, for me, when it went to penalties, I didn't have the confidence, and I'll be really honest with you. Honest with you, I didn't have the confidence in those players, and that's the difference. It kind of was written on their faces, despite that save of Mane that Mendy did, and that was kind of ironical. Two Senegal players doing that, but again, Matata United says the new owner seems to be unlucky for Chelsea. Yeah, again, let's not go to superstitions. I don't think there's anything to do with that. Come on, let's. I know there's a funny element to it, but again, Matata United, and I think here it was Edward Ridge who actually feels that Tuchel would have been sacked if we had Roman. Matt, where are you on that? Like, are we going to be sacking managers? No, come on, no, right?
Bro, if we're second Tuchel, like, who are we gonna get? Big Sam? Like, there's no one who can come in and replace him. Like, what are people on about?
Maybe you would have brought in the Nagelsmann from Munich. You never know.
No, but I don't want him. I don't think anyone comes in and replaces Tuchel. I think even like a Zidane, like a Pep, no one comes in and does what Tuchel does. Like, he just changed our team. And that question saying if it was Roman, would Roman sack him? I don't think Roman would have sacked him. But yeah, Tom Ball, he definitely not gonna sack him either.
Yeah.
But I think your season would have been definitely more successful if you had these two trophies as well, with the other two. So I think it wasn't. It was again not a very good season for Chelsea. Again, in terms of performance, definitely not, and in terms of succession as well, I don't think so. You guys showed up.
Yeah.
It all
Well,
ended
again,
after the
big up.
Juventus game.
We have obviously Rishabh in the house. It's been a while, Rishabh. I don't know if you're stuck, but I think your intent okay, just about okay. Rishabh, how are you doing? Firstly, and I know that it's an opposition fan, a neutral fan coming on here. Probably you wanted Chelsea to win. I'm assuming today, Rishabh.
Yeah. See, I'm supporting Liverpool, man. What
Yeah, right.
No way,
No,
no way.
no.
So what are your thoughts? Like as a neutral, what are you thinking? What went wrong? Is there something that we really need to crib about? It's just giving to Liverpool all the credit, and Chelsea are definitely up there. It's just luck. What's your opinion? Please go ahead.
I mean, see, man, like for me, obviously, penalties are obviously luck, right? You can't really say that
Correct.
one team was one team was better. But yeah, overall, I think I enjoyed the game. To be honest, I think both teams had you know play plays that they could have actually won the game. And that at that time, I think second half how Chelsea started was beautiful. Like we saw, like they had like lots of chances. I think Pulisic, man, he should have scored one goal at least. he had tons and tons of chances, but yeah, man, Liverpool
Exactly.
as well. Like I feel like man, like even Salah getting injured, man, Trent was amazing today. How he defended was beautiful. So yeah, I feel. Oh, I mean, I'm not like cribbing about like Liverpool winning it. I think they deserve it equally. So it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Okay, again,
Ankit,
I'd like
before
to
you get into
quickly address, sorry Uday, but I'd like
yeah,
to
no
quickly
problem.
address. Aditya, first of all, thanks for coming onto the stream, but you want to come on and troll like this, if you're also listening to us, you're also commenting here, come on man, as in you have better things to do, Aditya. हम आपके पास भीख मांगने नहीं आए, आपको आना है तो आइए, आपको नहीं सुनना है तो नहीं सुनिए, भाड़ में
कोई
जाइए,
बात नहीं. I
ठीक
think
है,
it's
भाड़ में जाइए Aditya. I don't fucking care, okay? I don't fucking care. You just get lost. Okay,
that's fine.
and you have not seen me this way, so you don't get that from me. Okay, so just get lost right now, Aditya. I don't care about it. You better go to the people that you want to listen to, and I'm not going to take this shit on this channel. Let me be very honest about it. Okay, here we have people speaking at 1:30 a.m. in the morning, four of them who don't really need to come on, and myself, and here we have 60 people watching after a loss. What six final that we are kind of playing in 7 years. Imagine. And here you're talking about a voice quality. Just fuck off, boss. Just fuck off.
Right. I'll pick up from where Ankit has left. I think Ankit and again Matt. I think to be honest, I'm really envious of with the kind of players that you have. I would anyways take Pulisic, Mount, and all these players that you have, and I'd put them in my team to be honest. And I think these players aren't something I would, and these aren't players that I would miss out on, man. I think you have a very terrific squad. It's just a matter of time how you again set into the routine. I think next season is going to be your season. I think so because Chelsea are definitely going to give a tough fight, and they still did. They did in the start of the season as well. You were on top of the league, and that's something, right? It's not just there wasn't that okay. It was a hit and miss situation. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was again your fullbacks got injured. Liverpool had Van Dijk, Trent, Robertson missing at the same time. We had a makeshift defense. We had a Fabinho. We had a Henderson playing as centre halves. Still, we came fourth. We were seventh. We were sixth that season. So we had a couple of injuries and we performed bad too. I think it wasn't just Chelsea's season. I think next season and probably the next to that will be yours. I think the trophies are yet to come. So I think
I
sit tight
I
and watch the
completely
game.
agree. I completely agree with you there. Like, yeah, because I feel like you guys have just been unlucky throughout the season and just with the ownership thing as well. Like I think at the wrong time. I think just before a game, I've had like a couple of instances that I saw like just before the game you had like announcements made. So obviously that impacts a lot of the things on the players as well who are playing and even the manager as well. So I think yeah, you
No, you're
meant four finals, four
Manchester
finals.
United fans have actually DM'd me, including Lou Manu, that basically, they were all kind of backing Chelsea to win, and they are pissed off with Chelsea.
Yeah, they were back in Chelsea. I
Everyone.
don't know why Man United fans are doing that. I don't know, back in Chelsea for once, which is
By the way, big up to Ujjwal. Ujjwal ने बहुत अच्छा एक comment मारा है. He has actually said that Tuchel. I kind of believe Ujjwal because of the fact that Ujjwal has been there for a while. Ujjwal has said that Tuchel says that Loftus-Cheek is not statistically good at penalties. Please buy me a drink, boss. As in, is it for real? Is it for real? Matt, please react on that, and I'll get on Chirag as well. Matt, how do you react to that?
I don't know what he said. Sorry, I don't know what he said.
As in, Chirag, I take your opinion. By the way, Chirag, welcome यार. After मतलब हारने के बाद आप आए हो, लेकिन Chirag क्या लगता है? Like Tuchel ने, I don't know, speculatively have said कि Loftus-Cheek has not done so good at penalties. Why would you still take a guy who's you just kind of put in anyway? There are a lot of options ना. मतलब इतना बुरा है कि यार भाई 11th penalty भी नहीं लेगा.
No, but he wanted Barkley to be on the pitch, na? That was the more important factor.
हाँ तो ये कुछ किसी को भी ले आया वापस. मतलब that is the thing that he wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Obviously.
मतलब
But then why did he sub on this for 10 minutes? Like for me, I don't know. It doesn't make
To
sense.
provide that
Why is it
physicality
10
up top. He wanted a physical presence at the top.
for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes.
Yeah, for just 10 minutes. He was still hoping for a goal, but the players weren't. Players were settling for the penalties, but he wasn't.
Just put Kepa up front then for 10 minutes. And if we're gonna play for 10 minutes, put Kepa for physicality. If we're gonna do that, I don't know. For me, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. Because
Yep. No, go on. I'm sorry.
I don't know because like as we can't just discuss this briefly. And Ankit was saying the question that he brought him on for penalties, can't take penalties. Ankit, Loftus-Cheek can't do anything in general on this pitch for me. And putting him in a striker is even worse than putting him in a double pivot. It's even worse than putting him wing back. So what makes you think that putting a player, again, we're putting Barkley who hasn't played in 5 months, and we're putting a player who's never played in this position in a final? Look at Liverpool. They're playing players, who have been like coming in and out. They've been, playing recently. We're putting Loftus-Cheek in a striker position, who can barely play midfield, and we're putting him in a striker position. To me, I don't know. For me, Tuchel was part of the problem on why we lost today.
Mhm.
We
Matt,
can't sugarcoat it.
you can raise an analogy here if you compare the same impact sub to what we bring on. We don't bring on consistent players in these dying moments. We bring on Origis, we bring on Minaminos.
Yeah.
These players aren't consistent either. So I think it's just a matter of who turns up in such a crucial stage. Chirag, I don't know tu manega bhai ki these players who came on, it was more of a panic sub which was made in the moment. It wasn't ki
By Chelsea.
this is a
By
league match.
Chelsea.
It wasn't league match. It was a cup match. So
By Chelsea.
yeah, by Chelsea. It was more of
See,
a Poch and Poch situation.
no, if I get onto each substitution individually, first of all, Ziyech should have come on, but I really doubt if it should have been Lukaku who should be off, because if I was justifying the fact that I need physical presence up top for 10 minutes, why wasn't I hoping for that physical presence in the last 30 minutes of my match?
Exactly.
Like, that makes logic to me.
Yeah, and even if he's not feeling fit or whatever, but Lukaku is that body build. He has that to actually just
Why
occupy
wasn't
people.
Lukaku feeling good?
As in,
What
I'm
was
just
he doing?
speculating.
What was he doing the last?
I'm just trying to be in Tuchel's shoes. Like, okay, maybe Lukaku ने बोला कि मैं continue नहीं कर सकता, and that is why Tuchel said, okay, maybe he's not 100%. Let me get a fitter person. Like, but he has that body build. I don't think you can compare Loftus-Cheek's body build and ability on the ball or without the ball.
And
versus
one
Lukaku.
more thing I have heard, I have seen is Werner was not 100% fit, is what I am seeing. Werner
Correct.
took some muscle strain or something during the training or side pitch training. I don't know what he is doing on there, what exercise he is doing. उसकी खिंच गई है muscle. I really don't understand that.
So why
Being a
didn't we
doctor.
take extras? Yeah, we usually go with 21. I don't know, for people watching, there is basically one or two extra people who actually travel to Wembley, or it was just in Wembley. So why didn't we
And
go with Harvey Kane?
I just want to know a fact. If you guys follow Chelsea Youth, that's an Instagram, oh sorry, Twitter handle as well. He gave a stat very recently. The last time Chelsea used their subs was in a Carabao Cup third round or fourth round, if I'm not wrong, where Harvey Vale scored a brace, or he was at a very good goal scoring opportunity and stuff. He was performing very well. We had other players as well who were performing well. Since then, no Chelsea player has been given minutes. Only 9 minutes have been given to Chelsea Youth players. The game where we had Simmons as a right back.
Exactly.
If you remember.
और वहाँ पर we had one of them. The man of the match was actually a youth player.
Yeah,
I don't
it
get
was
the
Vale.
name
It
of
was
the
Vale
back
who
from
got the
him.
man of the match.
But again,
No, not
again,
Vale. The left back, right? As in, what is his name? I forget the name.
it was
again.
Simmons. It was Simmons and Sterling.
Not Simmons. There was
Yeah,
one more
Sterling.
person, but again, he's not played. After that man of the match performance, he's not played. Again, I'm not kind of blaming here, but Chirag has a point about using a squad, better in such situations, especially when we are having that curse. The fact is, curse is for real. I am starting to believe that, because Havertz, Werner getting injured at the same time. Again, you should be prepared for the worst, because we have faced the worst absolutely. And yes, just while I think Chirag has already said about the Werner injury, and that's true. I don't
But
know,
why
man.
put him on
Like,
bench though? Why put him on
Matt-
bench? If he's
Matt,
injured, then
before
put
you
him
get
on
in,
bench.
man, before you get in, I just want to clear one more thing. You guys are actually on this narrative where you're blaming the attackers. I get it. The frustration is coming out. But you had decent opportunities. You had better opportunities than Liverpool in the first half too. Lukaku had the best opportunity when Van Dijk was literally on his right, and he could have actually buried that ball with the left foot. But he put on too much weight, and that caught on too much flight, and it went up.
Uday,
Right?
I
So I
agree,
think
but I completely agree. But the same opportunities were missed by Liverpool. If you agree, right?
I do. But
And
your
who
opportunities.
who took the cup at home? Who's taking the
We
cup?
did, but then that doesn't come
That
down
is
to
my
that
point.
you guys didn't perform
But we
well.
did miss an open goal.
It doesn't come down to
Pulisic was an open goal.
Uday has a point.
For me.
These are
It
great
doesn't come
points.
down to that
Again,
you guys did not give a good performance.
yeah,
You gave a
let's
good
be
performance.
No.
we are not
We
politicians.
gave a good performance. We are proud of the
Yeah.
team, but losing or getting disappointed, I just don't want to hear about my team that we were the better team. We played very well. We won hearts. We did not win the trophy. For fuck's sake, I
Or
need
three
a
back
trophy.
to back, or three back to back. It cannot be a
So-
coincidence, Uday.
It wasn't a good performance then.
True.
You can't. I don't call it a good performance. I think we played well. A good performance means we won the game. Performance
And we
is
weren't
you
in
won
the
the
right
game.
mind.
Yeah,
We weren't
great
in the
Jose
right
Mourinho
mind.
said 3 points is what matters. It does not matter if you say I parked the bus or not. It's Jose
Yeah,
Mourinho
I
saying
agree.
it. It does not
I
matter.
get exactly what Chirag is saying, and we are all for Tuchel. I'm pretty sure Chirag or Matt also
Yeah,
agree there.
definitely.
As Chelsea fans, again, I'll take Rishabh's opinion here in neutral again. Rishabh, lot of things happening in Manchester United, lot of things happening in Real Madrid. You're still looking forward to the season, I know, as a Real Madrid fan as well. But Rishabh, what do you think? Like, as a neutral fan, as an outsider, what has happened to Manchester United and Arsenal over the years? Are you actually seeing Chelsea going in that phase, or you're seeing that Chelsea are having a different DNA? We should just make changes. And what route should Chelsea go? Just make changes, or just stick with the people that we have? What is your opinion?
For me, I think it would depend, how this takeover is now done, and then how this new owner gets into the game, right? Abramovich was a total beast. For the longest time, I used to complain about him that this is not the, but like slowly as I got to learn about more about football, I actually appreciated him a lot, like what he was doing for the club. We'll see, man. Like really, I think that is the main. That's the main important part. Like how involved and how the owners are actually involved in this transfer business, in this club, like getting all this restructured and organized. I think that's the main. I think that would be the main thing. On and seeing if Chelsea fall out of this consistency of getting into the top four, or getting those League Cups or FA Cups or whatever trophies that they've been winning for the last 14 15 years. So we'll see, and I think that's the main important part, to see where Chelsea go from here.
We have. I thought we had a Kepa in the final. Who's the Mount?
Wait, every week it changes. I was just on Sadiq's channel. Everyone was calling me man. I was like, what the fuck? Every day it changes. Everyone makes
every day changes. So Matt has gone from Kepa. So for people who do not know, Matt resembles Kepa and is a Kepa fan, as in quite deservingly. But I think again, as in jokes apart, there has been a lot going on. Like Ujjwal puts it, Tuchel has been through a lot, and this is just in a nutshell. Maybe it's even more. Maybe we don't know. Like again, we should look at other aspects. I know.
His divorce, his personal life, you just cannot forget. That is a very big factor.
So that is what I'm saying. When it comes to Tuchel, see, I am totally with him. But again, in the match, Chirag, again coming to that, in 90 minutes, आप pitch पर हो, ठीक है, आपके पास जो है, you have the resources what you have. It is only those. It's like a chess game.
Ankit, it is just a gamble. See, if these chances would have counted, if Ruben Loftus-Cheek would have scored that goal, we all would have been in different moods sitting here right now, and we would have been praising him as the best move ever made. Because Antonio Conte once said best position for Ruben Loftus-Cheek is that number 9 false 9 position, and we would have been praising him. It is just about the day.
No, but you know why I'm kind of still putting on that point, because Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the mentality is not there. He even while making the runs, he was either making the runs early, नहीं तो बहुत late जा रहा था, और
who would you have put in if Werner was not fit? Who was the other guy on the bench?
So play Mount as number 9. Mount has done that. Play Mount as number 9. Play Pulisic. Why get off Pulisic?
Pulisic needed to be I just don't want to rant.
But finally it went to penalties, na bhai. Finally it went to penalties. He is your Captain America. I'm just putting it out there. But again, these are thoughts that you can also think. I know ifs and buts, we can easily talk about it. But again, we have to look forward. Probably no point talking about it on and on. And I know there will be a lot of talk about why certain things happen. Still, it will go on into the week and into the summer. And that's the worst part. As a Chelsea fan, our season is over. Lekin abhi bhi bahut baat abhi baki hai. First half chances missed, absolutely game over. Could have been, would have been, should have been. Those are things that as Chelsea fans, we are. Again, it's no luck. Uday, I know he's trying to kind of keep us calm as Chelsea fans, but honestly, Uday, मैं बोलूं, it is time and again the same thing happened, bhai. Everything it is repeated. Matt knows. Me and Matt have discussed. I think last summer, Matt, we both were on the Champions League pre-stream. I remember that very well. And we were like, it's about our chances, and we were lucky that Havertz took his chance. Let's be honest. That is the reality.
We gotta take risks on the pitch.
On Lampard times, why did we lose so many games under Lampard? We created a hell lot of chances. We didn't finish. It is not a secret. It is known. So again, with that, you're going negative and you're going for penalties, and it's like, that is the only thing that I had against Tuchel. But yes, again, Tuchel in. But looking forward, I'll ask Uday as well, because I've kind of told Uday enough despite him winning. So Uday, what would you change? I know it's looking forward to you as well. Probably I'm guessing that Salah, Van Dijk, Fabinho, 3 में से मेरे ख्याल से 1 या 2 ही fit होने वाले at best, correct? So firstly, as a Liverpool fan, you would now, let's be honest, you would probably take even the 2 trophies you've already got, right?
No. I'm not settling for these 2. I think I would actually go for the 3rd one as well. I'm waiting for release. We get something out of this season, because we expected to win the quadruple the way we were going, and we were just 1 point shy of City. But अभी अगर देखें तो मुझे भाई 3 ट्रॉफी तो चाहिए. I'm actually I think Liverpool have more chances against.
Get you anywhere.
Let's be honest, Liverpool have more chances against Chelsea. Now, people might give me the flack for this, but Liverpool have more chances against Real Madrid than they have chances against Chelsea. Okay, I'll put it in this way. And I think Real Madrid are beatable when they face Liverpool, because they are an aging squad. Their mentality is definitely skyrocketing. but what they showed up against City was never to be seen from Real Madrid. No, either of the fixtures, they were just again counter-attacking. They worked on counter-attacking. They didn't come back through a good sturdy performance. That performance only came up against City in the second leg. So I would actually go on that. Second, I think Chelsea should actually focus on the last two Premier League games as well. I know I'm changing the narrative, but Watford and which is the other team you're facing? Leicester. Yeah, I think these two fixtures are crucial for you guys as well, because you never know if Arsenal and Tottenham win the other two fixtures. I think you might just get ousted out from the top four, which is highly unlikely. But again, this is something which we should also be talking about.
Well, we'll at least get draws, I don't think we'll be that bad. That's what I would say. But again, you should go with the mindset. Rishabh, please.
No, I'm just saying you should win those. Like, I don't think like
we should win. I don't think, we should go with the mentality that we should go for a win, and it's not easy for us to do.
But after a cup final loss, at this rate or at this manner, you just cannot expect to go and score 5 against or at least 2 goals against Leicester. You are not going to.
I'm sorry, Leicester. I want to see a whole another 11 squad Leicester. I want to see Kepa in goals. I want to see Christensen there. I want to see Honey score because we have no urgency.
I want Werner to start. To start.
We have no urgency in our team. We have no accountability. When we lose this game, everyone's headed down. Look at Mendy. He missed the save. What's he doing? His head's on the fucking floor, where it should be up looking at the next opponent. But his head's on the floor. And that's the problem. No leadership, no leadership.
There was a difference between Alisson and Mendy. There was a difference between Alisson and Mendy. He was not just handling the ball to his own teammates. He was handling the ball to the opposition as well. Yeah. He was staring down their eyes.
लेकिन चिराग वही है भाई, same चीज पर we are talking now. We are talking going back to the recruitment. So we can only talk about the future. There's no point about talking what we have done. Like, I know Kepa was there, but did he play Kepa even in the last 2 months? Suddenly bringing him in a cup final.
Well, we did that to Barkley and Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah,
and again, Barkley, how many games has he played, Matt? How many games?
He hasn't played since. No,
that is the point Matt is saying. You are saying that it was not justified to bring on Kepa. So how was it justified to bring on Barkley?
True, exactly. So, but what options did he have? He had to make changes because of the sake of making changes. Let's be honest.
For me, I would rather risk that chance to put on Kepa, who is a penalty saver. All right, yeah, we had one incident where he stuffed up there. For me, I didn't want him to come on there. If we wanted Kepa to play, we should have started him in the extra time, 15 minutes. I would have subbed him on there, not just before the penalties. I don't know. That would have been a hefty one. But 15 minutes, put him on. But Ankit, I'm gonna go, man. It's 6:15 a.m. I'm gonna go sleep.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Thanks a lot, Matt. I know that it's not a good time as a Chelsea fan, but again, big up to Matt, and do check out. I think in his Twitter handle you can see Zoe. I think that's what his channel is called. Again, we will probably discuss more, hopefully on a positive note, and a lot of transfers. We'll probably get there, man. We have to break the bank. Probably looks like again.
Yeah, definitely, man. Take care, guys. Take care, Lermouth, for Palmetto, and Rish Shabab. Take care.
Thank you.
या तो अगर वापस आ जाते हैं, मतलब अगेन पॉजिटिव बात करना कोशिश करते हैं, थोड़ा पॉजिटिव बात करने के लिए।
अंकित भी अभी लाइक चलो अब बहुत हो गई इंग्लिश, मेरे बस की नहीं है अब। बहुत देर से लगे बड़े
ग्राउंड लेवल पर आ जाते हैं। हमारी मतलब जैसे लॉफ्टस-चीक का नंबर 9 मेरी पोजीशन नहीं थी, मुझे वापस दे दो, बार्कली बेटर थे मेरे से। दैट इज हाउ इट वाज।
मैं बार्कली नाम फर्स्ट लाइन खिला देता, अगर तुम्हें बार्कली लाना नहीं था तो 10
नहीं, वो तो पेनल्टीज के लिए था भाई, वो तो क्लियर था कि पेनल्टीज के लिए ही था। बट यार
उसकी पेनल्टी अच्छी थी, यू कैन नॉट से
अच्छी थी। हां, देना पड़ेगा भाई। वेलेंसिया वाली लास्ट पेनल्टी तो एकदम बदतर पेनल्टी थी, जिसके कारण हम सेकंड आए थे ग्रुप में। आज तो अच्छी थी। Yes, absolutely. And here, I'm guessing it's Mikhail, but again, positive vibes is something that we also need. Positives बात करते हैं भाई, ढूंढते हैं positive, and I know Uday is here to balance the books. Again, Uday, ऋषभ आपको लेट हो रहा है तो बोल दीजिएगा, लेकिन चिराग आपको पूछते हैं यार, मतलब what do you think, मतलब positives, what will you take positives आज से और into the next season? What are the things that Tuchel needs to keep, not change much? What are your
positives from this match you can learn is कि तुम अपनी गलती समझ गए हो. Where do you fall short in these big matches? You just cannot rely on a magical pass by Mason Mount and a blunder by Pep Guardiola to win every cup final. You just cannot rely on that every time. You need a goal scorer. You need a player who can score well, who can score big. That is what I feel. Who should step on like in big matches. Last time I remember us winning a cup final convincingly, 4-1 Arsenal. Hazard and Giroud were on fire. They were the clinical players on that day. We need more such players. We do not have like Chelsea का एक वो आता है ना प्ले प्रेडिक्टर ऐप, उसमें वो आता है कि आप लोग एक चीज करो, एक वो चेक करो, अपना गोल स्कोरर प्रेडिक्ट करो, who will score today. मैं नहीं कर सकता चेल्सी के लिए कोई गोल स्कोरर प्रेडिक्ट भाई।
हाँ एग्जैक्टली, हम तो अलोंसो के पीछे पड़े, अलोंसो करता भी आज ऑलमोस्ट कर भी दिया था, लेकिन यार यहाँ इंटरेस्टिंग, चेल्सी फैन का दिन ही नहीं है, साल ही नहीं है, बैटरी भी मर गई यार कायल की, मतलब क्या ही
But
तो
before I
बोले.
push off, I'd like to make one more point. कि Mason Mount
Yes,
showed
yes,
up
please.
in the last couple of fixtures also. उसने काफी गोल मारे हैं, 2 मारे हैं ना, I think गोल मारे हैं उसने,
हम्म
काफी outside the box से मारे हैं, तो I think काफी अच्छा addition है Mason Mount. तो definitely he is like the heart of your team. उसको तो हर एक मैच खेलना ही खेलना चाहिए. I know
Yeah,
he
definitely.
disappeared into thin air, थोड़ा वो यहाँ वहाँ था first half में भी, but I know उसके cup performances बहुत low रहते हैं, but league, if you look at the league, उसकी performance is like 7.5 out of 10 definitely.
But
And
cup
you take this
performances
question.
he steps up. He steps up in cup performances.
हाँ, he does,
Champions
he
League
does.
का assist, he was the person to assist.
हाँ
that.
मतलब again no blame associated with a particular player, but it's just the ability जैसे हम बोलते हैं. लेकिन उदय, before going quickly यार ये बोल दो, ये क्या लगता है, मतलब क्वेश्चन आपके लिए था.
उदय should नहीं यार, 2 हफ्ते बड़े अभी, 28 तारीख को है गेम, तो we have 14 days left. Plus I think Klopp should actually now play other players too. 2 Premier League games हैं, we can win against those clubs. We don't have tougher fixtures anymore. And top 2 में तो हैं ही हम वैसे भी, तो I think it is a good season. Premier League में मैं भी good season मांगूंगा. I don't
यार
think
रियल
winning
में ट्रेबल हो जाएगा लिवरपूल का. मैं तो मतलब उदय का देख रहा हूँ चेहरा, अभी एंटिसिपेट कर रहा हूँ भाई साहब.
नहीं, मैं तो look, even if we lose the final, at least we have showed up big time यार. I think we have played
Yeah.
very well. प्रीमियर लीग में सेकंड पे हैं हम, फाइनल्स में हैं यूसीएल में, दोनों ट्रॉफी जीत चुके हैं हम
क्रेडिट वेयर
डोमेस्टिक
फ्री,
को, और क्या
क्रेडिट
चाहिए
वेयर
और
फ्री,
क्या चाहिए.
एब्सोल्युटली. नहीं मतलब नथिंग अगेंस्ट लिवरपूल भाई, मतलब इट्स जस्ट दैट
नहीं
चेल्सी
नहीं
का
नहीं,
लक
मैं
मरा
तो
हुआ है.
बता रहा हूँ, मैं वैसे ही बता रहा हूँ.
चलो बिग अप
Yeah,
यार उदय. एंड
definitely.
अगेन पीपल आउटमाउट फुटबॉल चेक करिए, मतलब अगेन लाइक आई सेड इट्स वेरी ऑड टाइम फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस, लेकिन हम लोग डिस्कस करें फॉर अ बिग डे. उदय सी यू सून यार ब्रो.
सी यू.
कंग्रेट्स अगेन. Yes, तो उदय is gone and we'll stick on for a few more minutes अगर पैनल के पास है टाइम. और I know काफी कमेंट्स आ रहे हैं अभी भी. I keep hearing Pep was overthinking in UCL final. He played with Fernandinho, lost. Played with Rodri, lost. Played with them both, lost. Last in 3 games. मतलब again, so you have to give it to the opposition.
ये
That's what
उज्जवल
probably
भैया,
the comment
इसमें
is.
Yeah.
मैं आपको एक चीज बताता हूँ. आप लोगों ने दोनों में से कोई भी क्रिकेट फॉलोअर होगा तो यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड इनजी सेइंग दिस. वो सुरेश रैना ना उसको बॉल फेंक के मारता था व्हेन ही ट्राई टू, मतलब वो रन भागने की कोशिश करता था. वो उसने इंटरव्यू में आके बोला, इफ आई टच द बॉल आई आउट, इफ आई डोंट टच द बॉल आई आउट, व्हाट शुड आई डू. वो सेम सिचुएशन है इसके साथ.
So again, Tuchel
Please
will say the right things, yaar. Matlab again, to just while I understand why Tuchel is saying. Remember, first of all, he's a manager. It's his duty to kind of motivate them. Part and parcel of the things, and he'll say the right things. Or probably he is feeling down more than us also, and that is what Tuchel as a person is. We know that by now. Chelsea fans know it. But the fact that he hasn't faced, even as a fan, what we faced, after that transfer ban, Lampard ने हमें किया, final तक गए, and then we lost to Arsenal, our proper rival. And then to Leicester, and before that the Kepa ka saga was under Sari, and now we have this. So again, there is more to it than just losing this final and the Carabao Cup final this season. So काफी ज़्यादा है, but again we can probably take solace from the fact that Rishabh, being a Manchester United fan, he has faced a lot. Like Rishabh, I don't know man, what do you think has to be the positivity? Like Chirag pointed out, there are a couple of things that हम बात कर सकते हैं, but what are the things that Chelsea should take as a positive for you?
Sorry, you got cut off. Sorry, क्या?
नहीं
Chelsea.
वही, what are the things that Chelsea
Positives.
need to take as positives out of this season on the whole, or even as a game?
यार देखो, मतलब मेरे हिसाब से तो सीजन, डोंट यू थिंक लाइक सीजन पॉजिटिव था तुम लोगों के लिए, बिकॉज़ आई फील लाइक
हाँ, दो
फाइनल्स पहुंच गए, टॉप 3 काइंड ऑफ डन ही है, थर्ड ही आओगे, लाइक इट्स नॉट गोना हैपन, लाइक यू गाइस पुश आउट फोर्थ. क्वार्टर फाइनल्स थे, एंड लाइक अगेन, लाइक इट वाज अ क्रेजी गेम दैट यू गाइस वेंट आउट, राइट? वाजंट लाइक कि हां चेल्सी खराब खेली, ऐसा तो नहीं था बिल्कुल भी. हां, कैराबाओ कप, इवन एफए कप, आई थिंक अगेन लाइक तुम शायद गुस्सा हो जाओगे कि यार कि हाँ मत बोलो कि अच्छा खेले, जीते तो नहीं फिर भी, बट आई थिंक यार ओवरऑल तो अच्छा ही था यार. मतलब अब मेरे से पूछ रहे हो यार, मेरे से तो मेरी टीम तो पता नहीं कहाँ है, पता नहीं, इट्स लाइक गटर में कहीं घूम रही है, पता नहीं.
अरे इसीलिए हम थोड़ा पॉजिटिव ढूंढ रहे हैं.
एक मिनट.
हाँ,
ऋषभ इज द फैन ऑफ, मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया.
मैन यूनाइटेड.
नहीं ठीक है, मतलब गटर तो थोड़ा ज्यादा एक्सट्रीम हो गया, बट आई एग्री. मैन यूनाइटेड फैन तो चलता.
यार मैं तो गटर ही मानूंगा, मैं तो देखना छोड़ दिया, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. बट हाँ, विल नॉट डिस्ट्रैक्ट ourselves by talking about United. But हाँ यार देखो, I feel like Chelsea has had a good season. I would not say a great season because हाँ कुछ मिला नहीं एंड में, कुछ भी नहीं, like दिखाने के लिए कुछ भी नहीं है. But I think a lot of positives, as I said before, कि I think now what you have to see is कि ये ownership, how it brings and how transfers are being made. Abramovich तो भाई was very ruthless about making transfers. He used to spend money basically every year, right? Let's see what they do. I don't know कि उनका क्या plan. I've not read a lot about this new owner, but I don't know कि वो आते ही वो is he going to spend a lot of money? I've not heard anything about
there
it.
are mixed reports,
right?
there are mixed reports, but again
Okay.
वो data
cannot-
analysis करते हैं.
Okay, like Brentford type.
हाँ, that's what
Okay.
वो बोलते हैं. पता नहीं चिराग, you might want to add there. पानी पी रही चिराग, water break.
Definitely, I don't think कि मतलब you cannot agree on something because उसने पेपर अभी तक साइन नहीं करे हैं. He has to sell his franchisee at all cost अभी. जब तक साइन नहीं होते. साइन करने के बाद you never know if it will turn out to be FSG or
Don't tell me
if
चिराग,
it
अभी
turns
भी
out
कुछ
to be
worse
Glazers.
news बाकी है भाई, और मैं नहीं ले पाऊंगा.
नहीं worst
और
news
news-
नहीं, मतलब उन्होंने acquire कर लिया, उसके बाद you never know if they will live up to their expectations, their
टाइम
Exactly.
कितना
manifesto.
लगेगा? मे बी ज्यादा
Exactly.
टाइम लगे for the formalities. चिराग has a point वहाँ पर.
Tuchel ने आके 150 million मांग ली. Is he ready to give him 150 million? That is my point.
नहीं, certainly
Is-
there is certainly a point.
He is an American owner also, right?
Yeah,
American
Christian
owner ही है
Pulisic
ना
is not going anywhere.
बिल्कुल. लेकिन अगेन यार मतलब ट्रांसफर्स में मतलब पता नहीं, एस्पिलिक्वेटा चिराग आफ्टर द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द रिसेंट वीक में वुड यू लाइक अगेन हम बोलते हैं मेंटालिटी लेकिन यार एक्सपीरियंस से भी आती है, तो वुड यू मतलब आई एम स्टिल स्टक यार. एस्पिलिक्वेटा कहाँ है? मतलब यू वांट टू कीप हिम.
पेनल्टी तो anybody can miss, anybody can hit.
नहीं नॉट
It
अबाउट
is not
पेनल्टी,
about-
जनरली उसका जो परफॉर्मेंस रहा है ना वो भी काफी
हाँ,
अंडर पार रहा है.
recently बेकार रहा है, but the time he came on, he looked to me he looked in more control than Chalub, to be honest. ठीक है, Diaz भी जब तक नहीं था, जब Azpilicueta आ गया था, लेकिन still Azpilicueta had his mind in the game. He was the captain on the pitch and he was leading the team. अब वो पेनल्टी मिस होना, अब पेनल्टी भी दो ऐसे प्लेयर मिस होगा ना who every Chelsea fan loves. तब अंधा प्यार है हमें Azpilicueta and Mason Mount. You just can't hate them.
And it's I don't remember Azpilicueta even missing a penalty. मतलब मुझे याद भी नहीं है Azpilicueta missed a penalty. तो you cannot really blame anyone. मतलब I'm not talking about this game. मतलब larger scheme of things, Jorginho already linked. तो मतलब we need leaders at some point. Thiago Silva maximum एक और साल खेलने वाले.
That is the reason I want Koulibaly in my squad. That is the reason I want Declan Rice to come to Chelsea.
And keep Lukaku because at least he brings experience.
I am keeping Lukaku. I am not letting Lukaku go easily. And this is not because of his recent form. To be honest, this is much before that. मैं चाहता था Lukaku रुके unless he really does not want to.
Yeah, this one will be interesting. भाई उज्जवल मैंने देखा था, I know यान आगे Fjordford जो भी आप pronounce करते हो, मैंने उनका देखा था वीडियो. The fact that अगर आता है तो how will it be? That was the question.
It will not happen. Lukaku is not leaving Chelsea. That is a guaranteed thing.
Yeah.
Nobody is
अरे ले
paying
लेते
us-
आपको कमेंट ले लेते यार. मैं देखा था लेवा की बात हो रही है, तो लेवा इन बारसा as he has played Farmers League it doesn't contribute much, इसलिए नहीं चाहते ये बारसा में. चलो नहीं है यार, लेवा को मैं मैसेज कर दूंगा पर्सनली, भाई मत जाओ बारसा. चलो लेकिन आई एम सीइंग अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल देयर जो कमेंट नहीं कर रहे. आई एम अस्यूमिंग यार आप लोग सब्सक्राइब नहीं हो, इसलिए आप कमेंट करने से डर रहे हो कि यार कमेंट करने से क्या पैसे देने पड़ेंगे. ऐसे कुछ नहीं है भाई, फ्री एकदम. आप करिए, कमेंट करिए, सब्सक्राइब करिए. नॉट जस्ट टू मी, नीचे 4 और चैनल से आपको काफी सारा कंटेंट मिलेगा, और हमेशा आपको नहीं मिलता है रैंट और काफी ये फ्लैटनेस नहीं दिखती है. और मैंने गुस्सा किया हाँ, क्योंकि यार पीपल आर जजिंग ऑन आर द वे वी आर स्पीकिंग रादर देन व्हाट वी आर स्पीकिंग ऑन दिस स्ट्रीम 2 बजे रात को किया था यार किसी ने. कोई नहीं करते भाई, जॉबलेस होते लोग बोला. लेकिन अगेन थैंक यू ऑल जो भी ज्वाइन किया है, एवरीवन यार 75 ऑलमोस्ट ज्वाइन किए.
मेरी बात सुनो. रात के 2 बज रहे हैं दिल्ली में, मतलब इंडिया में, ठीक है. तुम इतने वेले हो, तुम अपने फोन की बैटरी खर्च कर रहे हो, मोबाइल का नेट खर्च कर रहे हो, तुम हमें सुन रहे हो, और हमें आके गाली देने का फायदा क्या? मुझे ये बताओ.
वो ये टाइम पास मौका की तलाश में लोग आ जाते हैं भाई, क्या करें. मतलब haters are there, लेकिन again because 75 people are watching, I am assuming most of you all are definitely either Chelsea fans जो सो नहीं पा रहे मेरे जैसे, जो वेले हैं अभी के लिए, तो लेकिन चिराग भाई भी है. and again they just kind of backing us, they understand.
Rishabh is also very sad भाई. Chelsea fan से आया तो United fan दुखी आज.
अरे लेकिन बॉटम लाइन बीइंग यार 75 पीपल, सब लोग यार सब्सक्राइब करो प्लीज. सर्टेनली हेल्प्स बिकॉज वी आर गोइंग टू कवर लॉट मोर कंटेंट ऑन द चैनल, नॉट जस्ट बेसिकली व्हाट यू आर वाचिंग. बहुत सारा प्लान है. अगेन बैकिंग नीड्स टू बी गिवन इवन टू द अदर चैनल. जो भी आए पैनल में प्लीज सपोर्ट. वी आर बिल्डिंग अ वेरी स्ट्रांग कम्युनिटी, ट्रस्ट मी. और आपका फीडबैक विल कीप अस गोइंग. स्पेशली मैं तो ह्यूज शाउट आउट देता हूँ द लेट विनर शो को. मैं तो बोलता हूँ भाई आप और कंटेंट करिए, मेरा वन ऑफ द फेवरेट है. ऑलवेज आई से ऋषभ, आई ऑलवेज बैक हिम. This channel requires much more love than what it has been getting the last year. So please It'll mean a lot अगर आप जाकर द लेट विनर शो को जाकर सब्सक्राइब करिए, ट्रस्ट मी it'll mean a lot। और चिराग तो यार अपने घर के भाई हो गए अभी, ऑब्वियसली ऋषभ भी है, लेकिन ऋषभ आजकल गेस्ट अपीयरेंस करते हैं तो थोड़ा ज्यादा वहां पर प्लग इन कर दिया मैंने। चिराग यार अगेन द लिंक इज इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बिलो, लेट विनर शो का है नहीं लिंक।
हाँ बट कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, थैंक यू सो मच भाई। मैं अभी आ नहीं रहा हूँ बिकॉज ऑफ सर्टेन पर्सनल थिंग्स दैट आर गोइंग ऑन इन माय पर्सनल लाइफ। So yeah, but definitely planning something to come back after like the season ends. तो सोच रहा हूँ नया कुछ एटलीस्ट थोड़ा बहुत कंटेंट बनाना स्टार्ट करूँ वापस, but definitely I'll come back, like yeah.
I have learned a lot out of all the channels. Well, we learn from each other, that's a fact.
Definitely,
it's part of one community. लुइस एनरिके भाई देखते हैं, let's see, I think World Cup will determine a lot of things. World Cup भी इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा और हम World Cup कंटेंट करेंगे। मेरे के लिए तो वही है, लकीली I know it used to be a Chelsea fan channel, अभी it's a fan channel for all to see. Luckily I am having other content किया मैं थोड़ा सा अपना माइंड डाइवर्ट कर सकूं, लेकिन चेल्सी के बारे में ज्यादा पॉजिटिव नहीं है, लेकिन अगेन the few positives are, let's actually stick to that and then go beyond. या सुबह के 2 बजे नींद नहीं आएगी, फिर भी I think there has to come an end point of this conversation somewhere. तो चिराग, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यार थैंक्स ज्वाइन करने के लिए। आई नो काफी लंबा दिन था हमारे लिए, लेकिन अगेन हाउ वुड यू सम अप यार, हाउ वुड यू सम अप द सीजन, हाउ वुड यू सम अप द नाइट, व्हाट आर यू टेलिंग द चेल्सी फैंस जो नहीं सो पाएंगे, क्या बोलोगे?
वन वर्ड, किस्मत। सो जाओ। कुछ नहीं होता, किस्मत छुपा रही, सो जाओ।
नहीं अरे यार तो मैं तो बोलूंगा थिंक ऑफ द पॉजिटिव्स। We were champions of Europe, we were champions of the world technically.
Think of the positives. हम 2 फाइनल पहुंचे हैं, ये मत सोचना फाइनल कब हुआ, फाइनल पहुंचे थे। हां, तुम तो प्रीमियर चैंपियंस लीग में स्पॉट एक गेन कर चुके हो, एंड व्हेन यू आर सीइंग क्लब्स लाइक आर्सेनल, ये स्पर्स एंड मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड फाइटिंग देयर एस ऑफ फॉर दैट, तुम इजीली कंफर्टेबली बैठे हो इन दैट स्पॉट फॉर द होल सीजन। यू शुड बी प्राउड ऑफ दैट।
लिवरपूल जो लिटरली हर 2-3 दिन में खेल रही है, फिर भी है उनका एक एक्स्ट्रा गियर, वो एक एग्जाम्पल है भाई, whether you like it or not, that is an example of professionalism is something आप बोलोगे। There is a lot of things, but again taking positives here, I would just end like we have a lot of players in our defense जो we are still having, lucky to have Thiago Silva अभी भी। I would say it's brilliant कि यार जो भी आने वाला है भाई, कुछ कोई भी आए, मुझे पता है just like उसने क्रिस्टियनसन को बना दिया जो सेंटर बैक नहीं था at the time, in a sense he made him the player, he actually seamlessly replaced him in the Champions League final। वो definitely कर सकता है to Chalobah, to Levi Colwill, to basically Jules Koundé, whoever be। तो मैं तो अभी भी पॉजिटिव हूँ उसमें। फॉरवर्ड लाइन में we need new blood who are having experience of finishing in the big world, not big money।
Just to disappoint you, no player will come to Chelsea in attacking line।
यार
no player,
बड़ा प्लेयर नहीं आएगा, लेकिन प्लेयर क्यों नहीं आएगा भाई, अभी भी we are Chelsea football club, come on।
no Tuchel won't go for them यार, अब किसी को बिना बोला थोड़ी बिठा लोगे घर पे।
नहीं what I mean is like people who are not really say 70-80 million वाले नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं, I'm talking about people who are there।
I'm not even talking about a player from our academy to step up in the next season। आपके पास इतना स्क्वाड डेप्थ है, you are not going to sell your Odoi, you are not going to sell Pulisic, you are not going to sell Ziyech। कहाँ क्या खिलाओगे? हाँ, Broa is a player जो आपकी टीम का ही पार्ट है, he is just on loan। Gallagher Broa में काउंट नहीं कर रहा अभी, but other players नहीं आएंगे, ट्रस्ट में।
मिट्रोविच ले लो, उसने 43 गोल्स मार दिए इसने।
अरे भाई चैंपियनशिप वो हर अल्टरनेट सीजन का है मिट्रोविच का।
अरे
अल्टरनेट सीजन
मैं तो
पूकी भी ले लेते हैं, मैं कह रहा हूं पूकी रह गया, अगला सीजन अच्छा होगा ही उसका, पूकी ले लेते हैं
यार भाई, रियूनियन इन लोग का
नहीं होगा। अब टेल मी वेयर विल Nkunku play, give me a position।
Why not भाई, राइट विंगर इज खाली, कौन है राइट विंगर, कन्विंस कौन है?
Ziyech will play
Ziyech तो है, Ziyech
and where will Mount play if you are sitting with 3-4-3, where will Mount play then?
नहीं we will have to change the system at some point ना, 4-3-3 तो जाना पड़ेगा some point में।
If you go with 4-3-3, then also you have specialist wingers, you will see more often Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech playing on that wing। Nkunku नहीं आएगा, Nkunku is not even leaving his club this season।
हाँ, स्टेटमेंट तो वही आई है भाई, वही कवर।
हाँ, नहीं जा रहा, कहीं नहीं जा रहा अभी तो।
Actually they are well to do ना, they don't have money issues।
Mr. Chelsea, we don't mind it, but these players would mind it, and the clubs wanting them would mind it।
Yeah,
we are not getting enough। Yeah, we bought Werner for 53, if I'm not wrong, 53 million।
Correct।
2 seasons and not so bragging seasons कि मैं उसमें loss ले लूँ। I would want something like 45 million। Boli is not here to take losses, to be honest। He is a businessman।
हाँ, शुरू में तो नहीं लेने वाला, और already we are running under losses, to be honest।
और 4 बिलियन दे चुका वो अभी, उसके बाद तुम उसको कह रहे हो और लॉसेस ले ले। नहीं possible ना.
नहीं, then you certainly have a point, but again यार मतलब again thanks everyone to join, but again 65 people watching, I hope everyone is subscribed to Almighty Blues FC. हमारा एक और चैनल Almighty Sports Plus, वहाँ पर हम काफी और चर्चा करेंगे, और फुटबॉल के तो है ही, but बाकी स्पोर्ट्स भी. Do check us out. Our links are in the description always, and do like the stream, do take the poll. Till next time, take care, and हमारे पैनल को मत भूलना, certainly helps. And let's see यार, positive तो नहीं है, congrats Liverpool, but Chelsea will be back, don't worry, we'll be back, आएंगे कैसे ना कैसे.